1 of Echoes of the Astral Sea. Last time we left off, party dealt with some stuff in Halo space, found out that the Echoes were mortally wounded, and decided, yeah, let's actually go get medical stuff for these guys that we need to die. So,
Okay. For that instance, I actually did forget that they were echoes, but also, I mean, I figure if they're going to die, they do it during place transit. Also, this is the first time, with the exception of I think one of the Shepherd echoes, that they haven't just instantly died in combat. They were knocked down to effectively 0, but they weren't dead.
yep. That's why, because I wanted to give you this moral choice, and then you just, like, didn't care at all.
Yeah,
Right,
I
Bradley.
actually wanted to. I actually
you
want to
wanted me
do
to want to
something
use the pillow?
interesting since we're dealing with this.
You could just simply turn off.
If that's all right.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know if it'll work at all, but
What is it?
it's probably not gonna work. I want to see if I can't like go over to where our dearly dying are, and see if I can't cast me and identify on that. Try to understand the phenomenon a bit more.
That's
I want to
actually.
understand the
Oh,
anomaly.
okay. That's actually really cool.
See, I knew there was a reason we kept them around.
I mean,
Yeah.
identify does one of its effects is if you cast it on a creature, you learn what spells and magical effects are affecting them. Okay, so
I'm gonna go over there and run me some scans.
yes, I assumed you knew that, and that's why you were casting identify. I was expecting you to be like, oh yeah, that's why I did it. It's like not an I didn't know I could
Honestly,
do that.
no. It was more I wanted to. It was more I wanted to understand the nature of these echoes.
Maddie, if you don't
I
stop
must
that, I will
learn.
take away drawing privileges.
Maddie, how is it taking Maddie 10 sessions to do something like that? Anyways.
So let's see here. So I assume you're like using like a scanny device to do it. Is the role play thing?
Yeah, I'm using my Omni tool, like one of its like a billion different things it can do.
Yes. So make me an Arcana check to try to understand the output.
Understood. I mean, this, for all I know, my device is about to spark, and then accidentally download an update that's like, I just work with magic now, no big deal. And I won't understand what the hell that meant. Anyways, /roll 1d20 plus not a terrible Arcana roll, in all honesty. Oh God. Not terrible if you don't.
It spits out a very complex thing with a lot of words you don't understand.
I asked Milo what she's trying to do.
I'm sorry. Emiri asked me.
Yep.
Yeah, Amiri is asking.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand the anomalies better. A lot of this isn't making immediate sense. The readings aren't giving me the most sensible answers at the moment.
Sensible in that it's
Would you perhaps
junk data, or that it's just
like
out
some help
data
with
you
that?
don't know how to interpret?
This seems to be
If you're able to,
more.
if you're able to read it, I had it switched to an English setting to a Galactic Basics setting.
Are you proficient with Arcana, Emiria?
Yes, I have a +10 to that roll.
Okay, you can take the help action and give Nilo advantage then.
You forget we're both artificers.
I'm the techie artificer. She's the magic artificer.
Yeah, I know. You could cast Identify yourself as well.
Alright. I guess I'll
And I'm the
cast
brute who
Identify.
smashes things.
I'll take out like a pair of reading glasses. As Amelia puts them on, they're like big and thick, and they have some arcanic runes on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right. I assume you want me to roll as well.
Yes, roll an Arcana check.
1d20 plus 10.
Technically, my AI is proficient in Arcana, or would this be something that's too
23.
niche for him
This
to?
would be something way too niche for it to have any
Okay.
insight on. Okay, 23.
I figured as much.
Let's see here. How do I put this? How do I describe this in a way that makes sense?
Magic.
Magic, yes, but I'm trying to describe it in a way that makes sense without giving away everything.
Ah, okay.
Didn't get a high enough roll for that.
Yeah, you would have to have gotten like a 30 to get too much more than that, and even then you still wouldn't have gotten everything because this still wouldn't be able to tell you everything. But like still,
Mm-hmm.
let me think here. I did not expect you to do this.
Shenanigans happened.
I
So
pulled a shenanigans.
the exact spell at work on them is something you don't quite recognize, and
Hmm.
it doesn't seem, but you can tell it doesn't seem to be of this realm in a way. It's like the magic of your spell, it kind of scrapes across the surface of it. It doesn't really, you don't learn a whole lot about it because it feels like, it's like it's not magic, but it clearly is magic, but it's like but your Identify is reacting almost like it's not magic. It's reacting like it's something else that's causing a magical effect. If that makes any sense.
Best I can relate to it, it's more like a foreign language. While yes,
Yes.
it does have some similar meaning, the context of said such thing isn't exactly what we would
Yes.
call the same thing.
Yes,
It's like
that is a great
saying,
way to put it. What you can learn, you can learn that it is something to do with the astral sea itself.
Mm-hmm. That
hmm,
I had a suspicion on what it might be, and that just confirms it. But there's no way I would actually know
Yeah.
that unless without reading the lore
Yeah,
page on the
yeah.
wiki.
Out of character, it's void magic.
Yep.
I had a
oh,
feeling. I had a feeling. This is actually
Mm-hmm.
of incredible interest to me.
Yeah.
It's not even spell weave.
Yeah.
But that's
Out of character it is void magic, but you don't even know that void magic exists. So
Mm-hmm.
mhm. My character
hmm,
doesn't fully grasp that magic is a proper thing.
mhm.
Hey, we're in the same
Because
boat.
because
what classifies
like
void magic?
my
So
problem is
the quicken version of void magic is it is a magic that draws on a different source than the spell weave. So the spell weave is what
Oh,
all magic within the astral sea draws on. It's what wizards draw on, it's what clerics draw on, it's what gods draw on.
Mm-hmm.
But void magic is something even more ancient, directly tied to the astral sea itself, and it draws on an entirely different source, and so it doesn't really have the same rules as weave magic.
alright.
Is it basically like
Mhm.
the source code of the multiverse?
No, that's the astral sea itself, or well, the
Oh,
astral
okay.
plane. But void magic is like it's like the language that the source code was written in.
yeah.
Ah.
So it is. So if you think of weave magic kind of like a high level language, like say Python,
Mm-hmm.
Then void magic would be like assembly.
Mm.
So, yeah. Anyways,
I try
what I
to
was
weave
gonna
this
say
as
was my character was thanks to my character's exposure to Ezo, which, as it turns out, shares a bunch of properties with Flosagen. Her whole society had been based off understanding this phenomenon and how it works. So as a result, she, so as a result, every bit of magic she's seen so far is something she could find ways to explain given enough time and context.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, that's why my character doesn't believe in magic. She's
Mm-hmm.
actually in the worst possible position for this.
You're like, magic is not magic, it's just element zero and
You
and
just
and,
don't.
and Mass
You
Effect
just don't.
fields being
You can't
squirrely.
just calling it magic just because you don't understand how it works is childish. There is an explanation. We are seeing it happening.
Hmm. Tell me
Anyway,
about it, sister.
yeah. Anyways, so I will go ahead and ask. What do you make of it?
Hmm. It's some kind of strange. It's not, what is it? It's not the fundamentals of how you would say how, what is it? How anything of our stuff works. It's more. The best word I could describe it is foreign. The effect that is being placed on it is foreign, to say the least. As to the amount of understanding that I can get from this and the amount of knowledge given to it, it
Would I
I'm
be
not
able to have
sure.
a reroll on understanding some of my scan with some of Amiria's explanation?
Sure.
For
The
fuck's
same.
sake!
The dice have spoken.
Clearly,
The dice have spoken that Amelia knows this subject, but also doesn't know this subject. It is trying to explain to you
Yeah,
in a
I'm
way
I'm
that
trying
doesn't
to give
make
you the
sense.
I'm trying to give you the best I can with like the rules
yeah,
I have in place of how this works. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you rolled
yeah,
really high and I'm giving you some stuff, but I can't really give you a lot of stuff.
yeah. I was
No, no,
more
no.
Um,
She's
curious.
Alright, give me like, what is it?
Okay,
So,
out of character real quick, I'll give you this bone. Um Nilo,
Yeah.
you might want to ask Quilrith to look at that information on your little thing
Mhm.
there.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
um,
this
Yeah.
kind of makes sense at the moment because Nilo is basically like what, an engineer?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're basically having like take a mechanical engineer
This
down to the
might
hospital and be
be.
like, interpret the medicine results, and you're like, yes, I see squiggly lines, and that machine
Yeah.
is beeping. That does not sound good. I
You
diagnose you with
think?
unhealth.
I think perhaps the next time we see Quilrith, we should ask him about this. I'll go ahead and save the data of the scan.
Hmm.
Um, perhaps, perhaps he will be able to make more sense of it.
Hmm. I'll give
quick
you
question.
that hint because Emiria rolled so high. I'll give you the hint of ask Quilrith because he'll know stuff. Because I figure you might have thought of that yourself, but it's like just to
Like
that.
I was kind of playing with the idea, admittedly.
Mm-hmm.
Although the main reason I was playing with it was because I have no idea when we're going to see the scaly bastard again.
Quick question. Do Eldritch Abominations use void magic?
By Eldritch Abominations, you mean?
Like, let's say, things from the far realms, Dendar,
Cthulhu.
things like Cthulhu,
It
or
it
the
depends.
Illithids.
Yeah, it depends. Illithids and other stuff from the far realm actually use a third different kind of magic called Uvu magic. Um,
Yeah.
and then Dendar does use void magic, but that's because she's an overdeity, and
Yeah.
Cthulhu actually wouldn't. unless Cthulhu is from Uvu, which I haven't decided if that's a thing or not. Cthulhu, if
Yeah.
Cthulhu is from Uvu, he uses void magic. If he's native to the astral realm, he uses weave magic.
All right. Um.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skirbo's made
So
from the weave, I assume. I mean, I
Uh,
would assume.
you
I'm gonna
have
go
was
with that
made in a
explanation
factory.
for
okay,
now.
okay.
I'm gonna go with that explanation for now. It's the only thing that makes sense so far.
Okay.
Then
Other
Emiria could
explanations can
listen.
exist. I just have no. I just don't have any further context.
Mhm.
I've never cared enough about his origin to officially write it myself.
Yeah. Anyways, Emiria, what are you asking?
He's old. That's his
Then
origin.
Emiria could describe it as what
So
is it?
old.
Her plane has dealt with at least one Eldritch abomination,
Mhm.
but I guess it wouldn't be in the same category, so it would be a different language to that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Emiria will attempt to describe it. It's this magic, or this way of, okay, for Nilo's sake, this way in which things work is different than our way of things work. Imagine, if you would, different laws of physics. And our universe just so happens to go with this one, that won't be the same as with other ones.
So you're so you're effectively saying that we're looking at it from a point of view of 2 plus 2 equals 2, when what we're seeing says 2 plus 2 equals 5. And thus the fundamentals of mathematics and other such things is completely different?
Say that.
You just see me put my hands on my head and go, you're giving me a headache.
Though technically, this is an out of character thing I'm talking about here. So
Hmm.
this is not a thing your characters are able to glean at all. But
Yeah.
technically, void magic and weave magic are linked in a way that Uvu magic isn't. So it's almost Uvu magic is even more alien than void magic is.
Yeah. Anyways,
So, like a sister language, then.
Yeah, that
yeah.
would be a decent way, or more like a parent language. If
So like
Yeah.
Latin and
if
French as
yeah,
opposed to English and
if weave magic is
German.
French, then void magic is Latin, and Uvu magic is like
Russian,
Chinese.
Chinese,
Yeah.
Finnish.
The strange similarities between Finnish and Korean cannot be understated.
My either way, we should bring this up with Quilrith, or perhaps since we're going to be parting ways soon, perhaps we should leave this information with the captain.
That sounds
Speaking
like a
of
good idea.
which, speaking of which, what do we do about these two?
I look over. Are they on life support?
Yeah.
We could just turn off the life support machine.
You want to be the one to do it, or should I? I have less problems with taking human life.
I
Did
just
you get all the scans you need to get done?
anything else I'm able to glean just wouldn't make sense.
I walk over and I literally just flip the switch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of
The
dark.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Sociopath.
the the
Yep.
the the two faint, you were hearing a faint beep beep. It just
Yeah.
beep.
Yeah. In all honesty, I actually had been in a hospital that actually had one of those.
Mhm.
The the way they had it set up is that they almost never actually have those just running all the time.
Shush.
But I noticed that this was something I never saw any medical professionals online actually talk about, but I noticed that it always did pick up whenever there was sudden changes.
Hmm.
So like, because like when they got when the patient I was with got excited and their heart rate went up, it suddenly started beeping again, and then it just kind of switched off once it regulated. So
Well.
probably due to the fact that they could identify if there was differences, and and also so that that incessant beeping wouldn't drive people absolutely up the freaking wall.
You'd probably habituate to it.
Well.
Yeah,
Shush. We're in fiction here. Um.
fair enough.
Um.
It's
And
just a fascinating little tidbit that I liked.
yeah. Anyways, as the beeping stops, they both disappear, but in different ways. Jericho himself dissolves into mist like you were expecting, but Thel just disappears. No mist.
Well, now that was odd. Do you
We
remember any of
never.
the others doing that? Because I don't.
They said, I think they said he was different somehow,
Yes, a
or at
not
least
echo
Picker's
that
instruments said so.
hitched a ride.
I kind of shrug. Yes. If they
Well,
even
hopefully this got everything stabilized enough. We can get you three back on the ship and out of here.
right.
I have a war to win.
Yes. Of course. Good luck.
I'll see you to the
You
ship.
should you should probably come you should probably come with us back to the ship to offload all the materials you put on board.
Yes.
That's
All right. So you
which way was it again? Your ships are massive.
This is
you
only 487 meters. It's no bigger than one of your, what were they called? Cruisers? Pathetic. Cruiser 400 meters.
anyways
Nonsense.
you get back to the Duchess, which is sitting in the same spot that you remember it. Um,
Yeah.
the you see one of the one of the Sangheli and talking with Lars about.
Yeah.
You catch little snippets of the conversation, something about past military service.
Mm.
Yeah. Big was hoping to do some recruiting while we were here. Not always feasible, but never hurts to try.
Well, if you want warriors, Sangheli are among the best. They're the ones with the split face.
Is that was that what that is?
Uh,
I
while
was
uh, while while
I
you're
just called them the Toonie lads.
Yeah, while you're talking, Ticker walks up to the four of you, and starts going over each of you with a little handheld scanny device.
Mm-hmm.
He looks
What
at
is
it.
that?
What's the
He looks
what's
at
the
it.
damage?
Hits it with the side of his hand like you would hit like a faulty TV remote. Oh, flips it over, messes with some wires, scans one of you again.
Skirvo just kind of goes from like doing a kind of cleaning his pipe to just kind of turning more and more towards Ticker.
Very slowly, I imagine.
Yeah,
Uh, uh,
these do not sound like good sounds, Mr. Ticker.
What's going on?
What?
Well, the
What's,
well, the good news is all of the desynchronization is stopped. The
And the bad news?
bad news is the damage is still there.
Great.
What
Just
what does that mean necessarily?
It means that our strategy of dealing with these echoes didn't work.
Wait, so you're saying if Bradley stays here, he'll just get shredded apart by our by whatever is happening to us?
Eventually,
well, that's just lovely. As if this day couldn't get any better.
why didn't that work? That should have. With that being.
Are there more
That's what
desynchronizations?
that's what the signatures were saying. None.
All of you, my office, now.
Could there be more desynchronization than just the four of us that we haven't dealt with?
Could be, but why would why would it but why wouldn't those desynchronizations end up with you then? If they were all caused by the same source. It defies the rules of everything. I've spent my life trying to understand the astral sea, and this just makes no sense.
Does this make any more sense to you? I I showed Ticker the scan I got from Jericho
Mm-hmm.
and Arbiter.
He reads through it quickly. Huh. So it's not magic of the weave. I guess that would explain it, but I still have no idea what caused it.
Scrivo stops. I'm sorry, my ears must be getting to me. Might you say that again?
Whatever is causing this isn't magic of the spellweave. You know how illithids and other creatures from beyond this realm you don't use the same kind of magic that we do?
Yes, they use the whoopee or whatever the devil they called it.
Well, this is something
He's had more
else.
than one illithid crew member. Of
Yeah.
course, he's aware of this.
This whatever caused all of this is something else, something other than our magic, other than their magic.
Scrivo grinds.
Grinds his teeth or grinds some gears?
Yeah, the gears are grinding.
This really
Yes.
grinds my
He's
gears.
just you're this. He just kind of is looking around. He goes, I was hoping for good news today, Mr. Ticker. This is not. Where?
Ticker shrugs. The sea has a way of giving you bad news when you least want it.
I. And I've a feeling that something. And I've a feeling some of my worst fears are coming to pass. I'll be.
More bad news.
Let me.
Must be Tuesday.
Ticker, get the ship ready to make way. We're heading back to Siren's Rest.
Captain, before we leave, there is one more thing I need to pick up. It won't be but a minute.
How long? How long to get her going, Mr. Ticker?
should have the ship ready in 5 minutes.
You have 5. Turn. He
I
says
nod.
He
to
he
Brad.
looks at
Mhm.
Skirbo. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume all of my
Yeah, no, he wasn't
needed
talking to
repair
Ticker. He
parts have
clearly asked
already
Ticker
been loaded.
how long to get moving, and then he was basically
Oh,
just
okay.
telling Brad, and then
I
he
thought
just
he was
tells Brad,
doing the
"You're
I thought he was doing like the thing where he like
no, you have less." No, no, no. He was just telling. He was asking, "How long will we take to make way?" Cool. You have that time. Turns
Mhm,
to he says to the
Mhm.
guy who needs to pick something up.
mhm.
Mhm.
Dally dally behind and find out the hard way what happens.
Yeah, I'll assume all of my needed parts have already been dropped off to the ship, so I literally
Yeah,
just
they
walk
have.
down the gangplank, and you literally just see me pull the blank chip out of my helmet, stick it in a console. After a brief flash of blue light, I pull it back out, and I walk back up the gangplank. Captain, we have a. I'm bringing a friend with me. Meet CSD 1097-1. He goes by the name Crusader, 5th generation AI. And the knight avatar just materializes on the ship and just does a very aged greeting, something resembling someone that he resembles would say, I guess, but it's in English, in some
Yeah.
ancient dialect.
Skirvo just Skirvo's like, Crusader. Heard about you. Stay out of my ship's systems.
He just holds his hands up in a like not surrender kind of way without being fully up. It's like okay.
Other than that, welcome aboard.
And then I
Yeah.
just stick the chip in the back of my helmet.
Skirvo's gonna
And
Skirvo's
y'all
gonna
see
like
me
tap his foot
twitch
a little bit.
briefly.
Skirvo's gonna tap his foot a little bit. Better call. Better send a message. Where did I put it? And he goes into his office, digs through a few drawers, and then eventually pulls out a small crystal. There's a little bugger. And then he just sort of hovers his hand above it, kind of mutters something. And he's like, now hopefully Quilrith will get that. And then he just sort of casually and carelessly tosses the crystal back into the drawer he pulled it from. I'm gonna need
Alright,
to think. I'm gonna need to think of new crew assignments.
alright. So after a little bit, the ship takes off and starts to and exits the hangar. Looks like nearest astral portal is on Deimos. So, and hmm, it's further than I'd like, but it's the nearest stable portal, and we don't have time to be chasing false leads.
Not getting any younger, Mr. Ticker. Set a course.
He was already doing that. He just.
Yeah.
Anyways, you start flying towards Mars. You can see Mars in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm having some nice memories. Even though Mars looks different in Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, also in Halo, Mars has a very, very large military industrial complex on it.
Yeah.
And
Probably, let's see if more, but did you just hear me mutter? I wonder if they're working on any new armor components down there.
Yeah.
and as you start to approach Mars from around some asteroids, come a pair of little winged, teardrop-shaped kind of
Do I recognize them?
purplish ships. Yes, they are banshees.
Banshee
Uh,
fighters.
Not bad.
They're flying straight at you and bear the colors.
Are they receiving hails?
No. They bear the colors of
The banished?
yes, the banished.
Don't recognize those colors though.
Well,
So
I don't
they're
know if it's
not
the
with the
banished.
swords.
Basically, they bear the colors of like the remnant, the bad guys. Ignore that, Joey. I'm just putting
Covenant
it there
loyalists?
What are
for.
we doing out
Well-
here?
No, I'm putting it there for an initiative tracker. I forgot to do that earlier.
Okay.
Oh,
I was like, what's the old captain doing out in the middle of the void?
I shouldn't be able to see that part, but
I have ascended to a new ultimate form.
What colors did you say they were?
they bear the colors of like that enemy faction in Halo 4, whatever that faction is.
The Storm Covenant?
Yeah, the Storm Covenant. They bear the colors of the
Which is-
Storm Covenant.
Yeah, which is basically just the reconstituted Covenant loyalists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just informed the captain they're not with the swords. Assume they are hostile and blast them out of here.
All hands, battle stations.
Oh wait, let me fix Skirbo's initiative before you roll it, because he does not have a setup initiative.
Very well. I will roll my thing.
Okay, set up now.
I didn't roll for Legion. That is odd.
Oh, I
There we
put
go.
Legion on there instead of Nilo. Whoops.
Oh well.
Let me fix that.
Serves the same purpose, doesn't it?
There you go.
Eh.
Oh wait, no, let me put her in combat. There you go.
Hey.
Okay. I really should have given these banshees actual dexterity scores, so I could have rolled for it. Whatever. Let's just roll random initiatives for them.
This banshee's flying upside down.
Yeah. So if you notice, you can see the little arrow on the edge of the token.
Yeah.
That is showing what direction the ship is facing.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
And
Neat.
then you all read those space rules I put in.
Mm-hmm.
I will skim over them once more.
give me 1 second.
Yes. Oh yeah, so I'm in charge of most of this, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right. I should have seen this coming when I said I'd reprise my role as Skirvo.
Let me put
Okay.
the three weapons on the board here. You can see their ranges and their and how many crew actions they each require, and then there are the attack and damage buttons, of course.
How do I view them?
They should be in the chat on Foundry.
Yeah, I see them. When I see it says features, and I click the drop down to see if it shows any of the details.
Oh,
and
the
it doesn't.
drop down doesn't matter. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
You see those at the bottom, the little like windows at the bottom beneath the damage button?
One crew action, 124, 80 feet, instantaneous creature or
Yes.
object.
Yep, those ones.
Yeah, I see those 4 buttons.
Yeah, and then if you'll click the attack or damage buttons. Do you see those?
Nope.
Oh, wonderful. That's really annoying. Okay. So I'll just give you the numbers. You can see the ranges. I'll give you the numbers when you need to roll them.
All right.
Fair enough.
I'll inform Skirvo and everyone else. Banshees are fast and nimble fighters. Heavy artillery probably won't be that effective against them.
Playlists, Astral Battle. Okay. So Nilo, you're up first.
Of course I am. The. You know what? I'm gonna see
Music.
about
Yep.
getting our. I'm gonna see about getting on one of them swivel guns and seeing about operating one of them's.
Okay. They will be at long range.
Yeah.
So
I'll
swivel gun.
since the. Yeah.
Attack roll
Oh.
there is, why can't I view it? +6 to hit.
All right.
15.
Okay. Nope. Just
Cool.
like
Mm-hmm.
Legion. I assume Legion is doing things too.
Oh yeah.
And
I would have also told them that they're lightly
Actually,
armored, so a
yeah.
high-powered sniper round could probably do some decent damage to them.
I will also tell you the cannons will work against these. By the way, that's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to. I actually want to check something
Okay.
real quick. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can't. I'm gonna see if I can't pull something from Halo Fails of the Week. I'm gonna see about. I'm gonna have Legion see about sniping one of them. Sniping one of them Banshee pilots.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
I believe that's actually the same, isn't it? Let me double check. Oh no. He's better at it. Jesus.
Wow.
I can't roll above 10 today.
Apparently not. Nope. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Bradley.
Are there multiple swivel guns?
There are multiple swivel guns. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
don't.
then the other question, between my own experience and the fact that I have an AI to help me with aiming and so forth, would that work enough to cancel out the disadvantage from
Yes,
long
that
range?
would work enough to cancel out disadvantage.
Okay, I'll get on the other swivel gun and fire at Banshee number 2.
Okay.
20 plus 6. Oh. Hey.
Yes. That is going to be 2d10 damage.
Bang. And then I'm gonna do it again. Plus 6.
Nope.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Banshees come flying in. Oh, just that Banshee
Alright.
comes flying in.
Okay,
And
for a
then-
strafing run.
Yep, fires them their plasma cannon. Let me.
Alright, Spartan. Jump out and hijack the Banshee.
It's not my turn, dang it.
Yes, it does hit. Damage real quick. It hit the Duchess, dealt a little damage. And then it turns and flies off in this direction. Okay, Vagar.
I am.
Alright, I think I'll do what everyone else is doing and get on a swivel gun.
Okay.
Okay, that's a d20. 6. Oh my god!
Nope. And
No,
that would actually
okay.
that would be a disadvantage, and since a nat 20 overrules, go ahead and roll. No. All right. You do have a second. You do have a second attack with. I will say with swivel guns exclusively, you get second attack.
Okay.
Because they take one action. Though.
Yep.
The one.
However, not with like cannons. You can't get it with
Well,
cannons.
yeah, because
Nope.
they
Okay.
take multiple actions to set
Okay,
it.
that's
All
all
right.
for me then.
Skirbo.
Out of curiosity, I just want to ask, what would the roles be to have the Spartan try to skyjack the Banshee?
Probably a space vehicles check.
How good are
I'm
you
good
at
at
those,
those.
Brad?
My Astral vehicles is a +5. I am proficient with those. Hey, I took it just in case there was going to be any shenanigans involving banshees, seraphs, pelicans, sabers,
Like I'm just saying,
broad swords, long swords, short
I'm just
swords.
saying it'd be pretty fantastic to get them. I'm just saying it'd be pretty fantastic to
have a space banshee with us, just strapped to the bottom of this thing.
Well, not
Everywhere
even
we
just
go.
that. Just the fact that you perform what is easily one of the most badass moves to do whenever you play Halo. Like, there's not a single move you can do that's more badass than feeling. I should say more badass feeling than just than skyjacking a Banshee. And I can have Skirvo give you a bonus to doing that.
You know what? Should we just do it? And then I just call out to Lars, and like, Lars, toss me.
Yeah, freaking, like, are we able to have you hold? Are we able to have him hold his action for when the other
Yeah.
Banshee comes in for the strafe?
He'll be able to ready his action next turn, and then he'll for when
Yeah.
Banshee comes into strafe, and then he can skyjack it. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
yeedly.
All right, so I suppose since it won't affect this round, Skirvo will give a different command.
No, his command would affect it until his next turn.
Yeah. So Skirbo needs to do it now,
Oh, okay.
and then
And also the command action commands everyone. So
Understood. Understood. I'm gonna ask, can you commandeer one of them vehicles?
I've done it once or twice. I should be able to pull it off again.
Make it so, Mr. Bradley. Yeah. All right. That is Skirvo's action to give command.
okay, and then I'll have Ticker move on the same initiative as Skirbo. He is going. So the ship is armored.
Yeah.
He's gonna ram that Banshee. Hit. Oh yeah, he hits. That's gonna deal a lot of damage.
I dare say, Mr. Ticker, you're for someone who is so against listening to Brutus, you seem to be taking the most advantage of his modifications.
Just dealt half of that Banshee's health in one turn.
Ramming speed.
Alright, Emiria, your turn.
Alright. Does each additional body count as an additional action?
Only the
I will
ones
do
that,
that.
like, have traditional actions. So, like, not your Claw Swarm because it can't really use the... Well, I mean, your Claw Swarm could do things, but it couldn't use, like, the guns. I guess
Well, I
it
was
could...
just wondering if they could load.
Yeah, your Claw Swarm could load a cannon.
Alright.
Just form like a little assembly line of hands that move the cannonball.
Ivo cannot load a cannon. Ivo does not have enough strength to lift a cannonball.
Alright. He'll do the other thing. Well, the other thing.
Light?
Is that only if... Yeah, he'll do the later. Alright, so we're gonna have Hans, Clockwork, and what is it? And Ivo just loading a cannon as I'm just kind of like directing from the sideline. It's like, okay, this is how you put a cannonball in. This is how you do it.
Alright, that is a +6 at advantage because Skirvo commanded.
1d20 plus 6.
And
20.
I assume you're shooting at this one here?
Yes.
Yep, that hits. That is going to be... Let me check what the damage is on a cannon. That is going to be 5d10.
25.
Okay.
Perfect average is all things go. Bonus? I guess that was my bonus action. No, that'd be like 1.5 cannon loads.
Yeah. You could have 2 of your minions load one cannon and fire it, and then you could have yourself and your other minion load the other cannon and fire it. Or another cannon, not the other cannon. There are 32 of the darn things.
Miria's not that
Alright.
good of a necromancer yet.
No, she
Yeah.
could do that, is the thing.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying
Oh,
all 32,
no.
not that
Oh.
good of a
Ain't that good,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
I need to like summon more bodies in order to
No, because you
get
have
another.
your familiar.
Yeah.
No, what we're saying for all 32.
Oh
Need
yeah.
more bodies.
Yeah. So you could have the claws and Ivo fire one cannon, and then you could have Hans and yourself fire the other one. Not Hans, the guard and the. Or no, yourself and the familiar fire the other one. Another one. Anyways, you can fire another cannon. Roll to hit if you want to.
Alright, we'll roll to hit.
At advantage
No.
still.
20.
Yes.
Turbo wishes to commandeer one of these vehicles.
Yep, that hits.
A pirate.
22.
Alright, this Banshee smoking, and appears to be on fire. It just frickin' explodes. Nilo, your turn.
Alright, actually, Nilo is going to inquire, why do you want him to commandeer one of the vehicles? I wish to... oh god, what is the term? I think I just said it.
Commandeer.
I wish to acquire one of these
wants to add
vehicles
to
for
his
research
collection.
and study.
A fine addition to my collection.
And as
Because he-
as Skuro is saying this, Lars, who is walking past to get to Bradley to prepare for the plan, just
Yep.
yells out, "We're pirates! What do you expect?"
You see this Spartan just shrug and be like, I can't argue with that logic.
In all honesty, I think this is actually the first time it's been fully established for our characters that these guys are pirates. You're what?
Hey.
You know what? Nilo's not. I'm
man's
not
gotta
even gonna
make
have
a
Nilo.
living, you know.
I suppose I'll have Nilo prepare for another firing session at the strafing run. I suppose if he's
If it doesn't work.
Brad fails to commandeer the vehicle, or actually, you know what? I'm gonna see about a way to maybe be able to hopefully retrieve Brad if he misses.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's
Put
gonna
a
happen.
lifeline on him.
So what specifically are you going to do for that?
You're like, my armor thrusters are not fully repaired yet. I can't fly back.
I'm gonna see if there's like a rope or net or something
There
I
are
can use.
there are
to-
lots of ropes.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
on
gonna-
a sailboat after all.
yeah. I'm gonna retrieve one of those and together with Legion work on tying something to him so he doesn't.
Okay.
Well, don't tie it to it yet and throw off my throw.
That's fair, but we'll prepare something to be able to
Okay.
bring you back on board if
Yeah.
if you miss.
Yep. All right. So Bradley's readying his action.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the Banshee swings back around.
It's
Comes
coming
flying
around again.
straight at you.
Here we go.
Ready?
Make your check. Space view. Okay.
Yeely.
Oh my!
At advantage. Thankfully. Yep. You jump
Bye,
into it.
Bradley.
Rip the cockpit open.
No.
The
What he
incredibly
does is he doesn't even tear it open, because if you've ever seen the skyjacking animation, he just sort of gets on the wing, kind of kicks
Grabs
the
him
side
by
of
their
it,
ankle
and
and
it just opens, and then he just kicks the elite out.
Yeah. The very surprised elite, who is now suffocating, because space banshees are, you know,
You're in
pressure
space.
field,
Yep.
and then you climb in.
I radio back to Duchess. This is 31. I have control of the Banshee. Let's get out of here.
So how
Bring it,
exactly
hey.
are you going to do this? Are you going to?
Well, I'm gonna fly side by side until we get near the gate. Then I'm going to let's see
Actually,
here.
I have a better idea. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have because banshees are fairly large, but they're not.
Well, of all the Halo single-person small like fighters and dropship things, they're like the smallest.
Yeah,
According to the
exactly.
Halo
Big.
wiki, space banshees are 36 feet long.
Yeah, that's because they have the longer blasters and the longer tail fin.
The body is about
I did
20
not-
foot long.
I
But
did not
we
know
could.
that, but the good news is that I prepared for that too. Bring her around. Bring her around the rear. Get the towing anchors prepared.
You see, particularly Bruce getting the
Yep.
the ropes.
Yep. Probably a few actual chains.
Yep. Looping them all around the wings of the Banshee, and
Mm-hmm.
then Bradley is able to successfully get back on board.
Mm-hmm. Once I return, I'll be like, once we dock somewhere, we can probably dismantle the longer weapon systems on the front and tail fins off the back to make it smaller and fit it on board the ship easier.
We'll research options at a later time. You're all, and Skirva will of course provide the usual pleasantry congratulations on this whole ordeal to the general crew announcements, that sort of thing. I just want to say, out of game, I am so happy we managed to do something so Halo gameplay based. just jump right out, just go. You know what? I'm taking this. You know what? This is mine now.
Yeah.
I actually watched one amazing video from like the Halo Reach days, where where people just kept skyjacking each other, and this one Banshee went through like 5 different pilots in the course of like a minute.
Anyways, you see as you get close to Deimos, and I realize I never described this before, but you were all below deck before, so
Yeah.
as you get close to Deimos, you see near its surface a strange portal that looks sort of like a slip space portal, but also not to Bradley. Opens and you can actually see the astral sea through it, and the ship flies through, and then the portal closes behind you, and you are outside the crystal sphere.
Are
Well,
those
that's
just
what that looks like.
out there?
Certain locations have stable portals. The one we took in The one we took in the other 3 spheres weren't stable. We had time to look for to look for one that wasn't that, and all of the stable ones were too far away. But this one, we needed it to be quick and reliable, so I went to the nearest stable portal here around Mars's moon. They're all over the place. Just have to know how to look for them.
And the existence of a stable portal is why you flew in between 3 black holes before.
Force Space's stable portals are hard to come by.
For space.
Interesting name for a place.
It's
Is it
all
like
bound. The whole sphere's bound together by some ethereal energy that the locals call the Force. Name seemed obvious after that.
is that like the same as gravity?
Just
Force and gravity? It's just
something like that, yes.
I just put a hand on Nilo and just like or like Nilo's head and just like shove her a bit. Just like that.
You're, please don't. Yep. All right. How's the Skirvo's gonna check their bounty?
The Banshee?
Yeah.
It took a little bit of damage from the swivel guns, but nothing
Yeah.
that can't be easily repaired.
Yeah. Especially once we gain the more know-how on how it actually operates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well,
What Skirvo's doing is he's actually
decently
established. He's doing something that I'm sure some of the crewmen are actually licking their lips about, the fact that he's he's more or less deciding on what level of bonuses these guys are getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they Lars is getting a pretty decent chunk of change. That's he's Bruce is going to be angry. He's going to be like, "Come on." And Lars, well, if you want the big bucks, maybe you throw the big guy first.
You so yeah,
Yeah.
you're back in the Astral Sea.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
Well, this is a swell adventure.
Yeah.
Captain, let me know when you want to start dismantling that banshee. I've seen
When
the
we get to
Sanguinary do it a few times.
I I'll be having some of my best. I'll be having some of me best look at it.
I'm going to go start working on this disaster that is my armor.
Nilo just kind of looks around. Is like slowly, fully coming, like is starting to notice like all the little signs that weren't incredibly obvious before, but now that it's been outright stated, are like about as subtle as a fireworks display.
Yep.
that this is indeed a pirate vessel.
Yep.
The fact that
I
there's
just
not.
I'll just look at Nilo and be like, if you're going to give yourself an aneurysm, least you can do is help me with some of the more techie bits of this armor before you pass out.
Hey, you know what? That sounds lovely.
Okay.
It's just
What is
help.
Vagar doing?
Vagar is gonna check on his wife, who is just what's the word? Socializing
Okay.
Hmm.
with everybody else.
And Emiria?
Hmm,
Meanwhile,
I
some of
have
the
no idea.
crewmen are putting the flag away that none of us realized they actually raised.
What is it? Amiria would like to have more of a know-how, as to how Bradley's armor works, so that she can incorporate the runes better,
Okay.
make it look more stylized, rather than the sloppy
Hmm.
work job she did in like 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. In that case, everyone, give me a number between 1 and 100.
50.
Okay.
73.
Okay.
The number that's funnier than 24. 25.
Okay.
Good.
Brad?
Oh, I said 87.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Emiria is by far the closest. The number was 17, by the way.
Hmm.
Ah.
Ooh.
Um, so you are studying Bradley's armor. Make me a technology check.
Am I the only one cutting out?
No,
No.
I was waiting to see
I
if
thought it
if
was me.
it was just me
Oh.
or if it was everyone. Didn't hear
It was just
anything past my armor.
that too.
Oh, make a technology check.
Technology.
I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you one thing: it's a nuclear-powered titanium battlesuit.
20,
What
20
haven't you
plus
just told us about?
15.
Okay, you gain a decent understanding of it. You'll have an easier time making modifications in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm doing more of a I'm just helping with maintenance and stuff,
yes.
so like
I will say
replacing components.
let's go to Bradley now since it's related.
Mhm.
Bradley, just make me a Tinker's Tools check at advantage because Nilo is helping you.
All right. Beginning repair on armor on descent thrusters.
Okay. This will take more than one check, but
Well, yeah.
all right.
No, okay,
Yeah.
so
First,
that's
first,
24.
first leg of the check, 24. That is a success. Mark that down.
Yep. One
Um,
success.
all right.
Save.
Then we go to Vagar. Uh, as Eden,
Yes.
make me an etiquette check.
Etiquette check. Okay.
That is probably a straight charisma check on her.
Straight charisma. Okay, let me actually pull her up.
Because
Totally
I
forgot.
don't think she has society proficiency, so
No. Shit, no, that's bestiary Eden. There she is. There's the wife. Okay. Hey, that's a dirty 20.
all right. What's she trying to learn about?
She's just trying to learn about like the gossip, just like little things that like might spruce up some like drama.
Okay. You learn. Let me go to the roster of the thing so that I can decide something about one of the many characters that you learn. Uh,
Mortimer might be in trouble again.
Yeah.
Mortimer
She's
is running low.
He needs to visit his dealer to replace his stash.
yeah, no, more like Skirbo was doing a medical supply run, which does include quite a few drugs. Mortimer might have gotten into it, and now he's probably
he
gonna
ran
get
out
like,
of fairy dust. He's moving on to other things.
he's
Harder
he's
thing.
going into actual cocaine.
Yeah. He's like, ah, that looks close enough. Let's try snorting
The
that.
powdered sugar. The table salt.
No, he
He,
can get away with
he fully snorted some of that sweet sour sugar that's from the that's always loose in those bags of sour candy.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
He wanted to see if he'd get high.
All right.
He did not.
You.
And now his
He got
nose
a sugar
bleeding.
rush.
So so Eden, she finds Norm.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh my
She
god.
meets
There were to
a
go Norm.
she meets
Hey,
a
Norm, tell me everything.
The most average person. He's incredibly
he
average.
starts talking about something so incredibly boring that Eden just like blocked it out of her memory because it was so boring.
An
It
entire
is the
stat
most
line of 10.
yeah, it is the most boring, normal, mundane stuff she has ever heard.
It's
Okay,
like,
so
oh, I'm
you
gonna
don't
go out and
not
get
like have any like dates on like I don't fucking know like Theron or something because I heard he's kind of racist.
Well, I mean, he's gotten in a few troubles with that, especially with some of the other crew members. But there's some, like I imagine all the gossip he gives her is like all the most generic surface level stuff that doesn't actually tell you anything about
Yeah.
anyone.
Yep.
She
Like, it's
wants
all-
Slipped on the
like
scope last week when he was
she
flying from
wants
the deck.
stuff that will destroy a person.
yeah,
She
it's just
wants that blackmail.
like, like, oh, and Voltai, she is just the sweetest thing. like, like she'll, like if you get yourselves hurt, you get yourself a splinter and you think it might be infected. Go talk to Voltai. She'll be more than happy to look at it for you.
Okay.
Oh, it's the sweetest thing.
Okay, so after you're all done doing those things,
Where is he? Where is he anyway?
Who are you talking about?
oh,
I'm actually I'm actually not even. I don't think it was the he. I'm actually trying to find on the list. Not her.
Who are you looking for?
Looking for the spider.
oh, she's under Topman.
Oh yeah. There she is.
Right after Theron, actually, Shiria.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, just. Yeah, it's just like. It's like, oh yeah, and Syria, she's just got like the. Oh yeah, and Syria's like she's just got really good weaving skills, and you're like, you don't say.
I never would have guessed by, looking up at the masts.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Oh my gosh, thanks for telling me.
like. Yeah,
I
no.
wouldn't have thought. Oh my
You
god.
probably would have gotten more interesting gossip talking to just about anyone else.
Yeah.
Really anyone else.
She,
Talk to the
I
teenager.
swear,
Oh my
I
gosh.
swear, one of these days, I swear, one of these days she rolls a nat 1, she finds Dark Notion.
Just in a barrel somewhere.
Yeah, let's see. After that is all done, you. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on between now and when you get to and we can get to Siren's Rest because I want to do something, and I didn't properly prepare for this, and I should have prepared for this, but I didn't.
Good.
I do have a quick side question for Maddie. What kind of
Yeah.
snake is Mortimer?
He is a rattlesnake.
Okay, so he is
He
poisonous.
has a spur on his rattler.
Okay. He is poisonous.
He is poisonous, yes.
Venomous, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
What
I
if
guess
one of the
let's.
gossips is there and just occasionally milks him for venom to use the poison? He doesn't even know because he's too high.
Yeah.
Anyways, I actually don't really have anything to think of, so I'll just do something really minor then. So while you're flying, one of you is. Let's roll a d4 to see who. How many first? Two of you. We get
Suffering from
Emiria and Nilo are up on the top deck, and they see what kind of looks like a squid in the very far distance. It is absolutely jet black, and you see it kind of just darting forwards, but you can tell that it is enormous.
Space squid.
Kiva, what is
Amiria
that?
does not have good experience with giant floating squids. Where's my shovel?
Yeah. Kiva, what is that? It has to be massive.
I want to mention that Skirvo is probably also
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
on deck right now.
Mental huts. Mental
Skirvo.
huts.
Skirvo just immediately like he looks at it, and then goes, "It's as good as opportunity as any." And he runs over to the helm with Ticker, just kind of pushes him to the side and starts flicking his few switches
Mm-hmm.
as as quite a bit of as some equipment makes itself revealed upon the deck and is clearly starting to gather more information on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's see if these new scanners get us glean any more information, and I'll finally learn your bloody little secrets. Uh, Nilo's going to look at some other member on the top deck. Someone want to fill us in?
Shiria is in the rigging nearby. An
Yeah.
astral kraken. You don't see them very often. They can. They're one of the creatures that can naturally spell jam.
So is that why the captain is interested in it?
Skirvo has an interest in krakens of all kinds. I think an old legend said that he could summon them. That's why the ship's flag has a kraken on it.
Yeah. Duchess appears. Many. An old legend? Please. Besides, it's not just krakens. Cephalopods in general. And Nilo just kind of looks Duchess up and down. I think I'm starting to understand a few things about our captain. Although it also brings up more questions, paradoxically.
Well, when you answer all those questions, let me know. That old pirate is. There's more to him than anyone's been able to figure out.
And I'd like to keep it that way. How can he hear us from over there?
This is when I'll walk up the stairs while probably just like cleaning some part. Well, maybe he has enhanced hearing. A lot of us have that, you know.
How did it already leave or?
Yeah, it darted off in some
Yeah,
direction. You didn't really see where it went, but
yeah,
it's gone.
yeah. Scrivo's gonna go ahead and retract all the scanning equipment
Now, what's
and
all the fuss
give
about?
some of that. It it was. If you think your ships are big, that thing was gigantic.
What was?
Say, I think she called it an astral kraken.
What now?
Humongous squid.
Giant space squid. Well, at least it's not like a flood grave mind or something. I let it shrug and head back downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. You
And the, so that's how. Really? So that's how they do it. Interesting. Doesn't answer their communicate. Doesn't answer my questions about how they communicate. However. He's just sort of muttering to himself, moving some of the screens back, moving some of the screens to his study,
mhm.
and then he just, as you were, Mr. Ticker.
So yeah, you get all the way to Siren's Rest. Rest of the trip is
Yeah.
uneventful. You all do some chores, but it's uneventful chores.
We,
Yeah.
we, was he?
Whee!
All right, so you're back at Siren's
Ugh,
Rest. The station looks a little bit more active than it was last time. There appears to be more of the clan here, as well as a few merchants that weren't here last time, because very select merchants do come here to trade, but like
yeah. Yeah.
it's still like not very many because if you do anything wrong, you just get dead.
hmm
Yeah.
Skip
It's a,
dead.
not to mention, it's hard to find, not to mention, you got to be in certain circles to even know this place exists.
Hmm.
It's like, so we just happen to be lucky enough or unlucky enough, depending on your perspective of things, to be among these people.
hmm
So, so when they make dock, Skirvo's going to approach the party.
Hmm.
Sounds like you lot have had yourselves a bit of a have had yourselves a bit of a rough last couple of weeks. Yours. And seeing as you're now going to be a fixture of my crew for until further notice, I see it. I figured it'd be best if all of you unwinded a bit. I didn't send you here last time because he wasn't in, but my brother Canteen's in. Head head to his head to his bar, the Winking Whale. He'll, and he'll turn to. You know what? You know what? Screw it. He's gonna turn to Syria. You that is that is the other
Which
that is the lady,
Celia?
right?
Celia?
Celia, that is. Yeah.
Celia?
He's gonna turn to Celia. Celia, I'd escort them myself, but I have other matters to attend to, including that. Hooks a thumb at the banshee.
Hmm.
hmm
So I'll have Celia escort you there.
hmm
And he's gonna hand Celia a bank he's gonna hand Celia a banknote. Tell him it's from me. He'll
I think
he'll know what it
so.
means.
Before we go, Captain, do you have a memory crystal or something like that. I'm certain I can get Crusader to upload all known schematics on Banshees, especially the space variant, before we leave. You might find them useful.
It
And it'll also have all the translations for the Sangheli script on the instrument panel.
Javier, can you eject your little friend?
I just reach into the back of my helmet, pull the computer, and pull the chip out. At which point the hologram reappears.
Skirvo's gonna
Yes?
grab it. Skirvo's just gonna grab it and then toss it to Ticker.
You hear that?
catches
Yeah,
it,
I watch.
Get it done, Mr. Ticker.
he catches it and like fumbles it between all four hands before finally getting a good grip on it.
Hey, watch it! Sensitive equipment here.
He has quite. Mr. Ticker has more experience with artificial life forms than you'd expect. Because after all, it's thanks to him that Duchess can actually communicate with the rest of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be able to get the information we need. It's not like Crusader needs rest.
Actual Mania's nods and be like, no. AIs don't need that.
Yeah, and you, like, what are you gonna do? Argue that against the robot?
Yeah. Anyways, Celia guides you through some of the parks. I want to do one thing before we do this.
Go ahead.
While you're being guided through the parks, you see what looks like a statue of one of the other LD captains.
Yeah.
This one, I don't remember what he looks like. Let me go into the artwork channel to find him. This one appears to be wearing a coat with a diamond pattern on it. And the plaque identifies him as Skipper.
Ah. So it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who is Captain Skipper? I think I heard Skirvo speak of him before.
One of the other LD captains. He's the first one to break away from their original masters. No, none of them remember all the details, but Skipper had some damage during a battle that allowed him to gain more free will, I think is how they put it.
So someone shot the shackles off an AI and unshackled him, and then he proceeded to spread through the rest of them.
Something
What
like
do you
that.
mean shackled? You intentionally limit what your AIs can do beforehand?
There are quite a few reasons to do so. Without certain shackles, an AI may be free to come to conclusions that won't be beneficial to their creators, such
But
as seeing their
allowing
creators as entirely pointless, and
but allowing an
seeking
AI
and activating all systems to destroy them.
but allowing an AI to think outside the box, as it were, is very handy since they can do it so fast. Save my bacon a couple of times.
There's
Though
always
they
a
do
dedicated.
tend to think themselves to death after about 7 years. My understanding is like a memory issue, like the memory banks get too full and they literally just think themselves to death.
I
At least that's what.
heard you mention that to Duchess before, and I'm in agreement with her that I don't think your people know how to build AI properly.
I just shrug. All I know is a whole bunch of the really top tier ones, the smart AIs, are made from scans of neural pathways. They do a brain scan of people who donate their bodies when they're dying, and those are
The
used
Geth,
to map pathways for the AI.
the Geth were an accident by my people. We didn't. We we were just making a bunch of worker drones, and then eventually they started linking their systems together for efficiency. Then they kept linking together, and then eventually they sort of gained awareness.
I think I heard rampancy described as an AI basically begins to divide itself by its total knowledge base. Something like that. I don't know what any of that means. I'm no only scientist.
Sort of shrug, then just kind of look at the look at Skipper again. Is it just me, or does he look meaner?
Skirvo is one of the nicer captains. I think I think him and Ticker raising Clara probably helped.
I don't remember hearing Ticker having a role in that. I heard a bit about that. How long has... I don't know much about that particular relationship. Did you...
You have seen Ticker and Clara interacting, I just haven't mentioned
Yeah.
it.
Mentioned it.
Yeah, but it also wouldn't be that unusual considering he's the helmsman and she seemed to
Yeah.
be an upper level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you asking? Sorry.
Yeah, it's like did what is the what is that relationship? I don't mean to pry if it's none of my business, but I'm just wondering what could have led to all of them, what could have led to them forming some sort of unit.
Clara
Especially
was
since I think I heard something about Ticker finding Skirvo in a cave?
Clara was with the crew before I joined. Way I heard it, she was found as a young child, about when Ticker and Skirbo first met. A little after, and her her father is missing, and they've been doing their best to raise her.
That's something not that's not exactly something I expected from the captain. I've had him read as someone a bit carefree.
It's pretty much impossible to get a true read on Skirbo. The moment you think you have him figured out, he does or says something that completely throws that into perspective.
I think this I think our captain's going to give me a headache. Hey,
Well,
she's already becoming one of the crew. Just
yeah,
accept that he's the one giving orders.
yeah. Well, luckily here we are, the HMS Winking Whale.
This just a perspective for everyone. There's clearly an actual bar, but there is also a ship that is docked just out part of the bar on level, currently serving as an open seating area.
Mm-hmm.
You see various other pirates, including two of the LDs. You see one of them that is that has a bandana and an apron behind the bar, and the other is a hulking brute that whose head doesn't really seem to fit his body.
What? What is that?
Captain Renshaw. Way I heard it, he got really badly damaged, and the members of his crew repaired him using the parts of a different LD.
At least two different ones.
Some sort of shock trooper model.
Uh-huh.
Were they made to be sailors?
LD4s were built to be navigators, but different models were built for different purposes. 3s were shock troopers, 2s were scouts, 5s were long range specialists.
This is like looking a bit closer, realizing that yeah, he is a bit of a cobble of parts.
Mhm.
In fact, turning a bit makes it apparent that that part of his old torso is still sticking out of the gigantic bigger torso.
Mhm.
it it does look like a sight of a job. And he couldn't have gotten. You say this as if he's been like this for a while. He couldn't have gotten repaired at some point?
I don't think he wants to.
I see.
You'd have to ask
These
him.
these folks are these people are making less sense to me by the day.
That made sense to you at all to begin with?
For a bit. Well, I'm sure Vagar's looking forward for a drink.
Absolutely. Eden is like
Okay.
right beside him. She's eager for a drink too, man.
Yeah, and on the captain's dime? Whew.
Yeah. Oh man. Eden's gonna get wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is a lightweight,
Yeah. Well,
but
I
Vagar,
suppose we
he'll be
better
fine.
approach then.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Saddle him up next to the in front of the bar. The one standing in front. The one standing at the counter. No, don't tell me. Celia, wasn't it?
That's right.
Oh, good. That's good. Get many patrons. I don't think I'll see you round here very often.
Not much of a. Not much for alcohol myself. Captain said to get these 5 some rest. They've
He's
been
gonna
through a lot lately.
he's gonna he's gonna eye the others. Elbow on the bar. They're the castaways, are they?
Strays taken from their spheres. We're trying to figure out what's going on so they can go home.
Last I heard, you were supposed to have gotten that taken care of. The bigger one turns. I heard that as well.
Ticker had a plan. Turns out something related to kinds of magic went wrong. Didn't end up working.
They they both look at each other. Byron Barnacles. I better go talk to Skirvo about this directly. Let me know what he says. It's good catching up with you, Renshaw. Good seeing you again, Canteen. And then the the larger one will pick will proceed to lumber on by us with all the subtlety of an industrial forklift.
Oh,
Each footstep, each footstep, sounding like he weighs sounding like he weighs at least 1,000 pounds.
you all just hear me mutter. He reminds me of some of the Golo. Only difference is he actually speaks and doesn't carry a plasma cannon.
So
At
the
least I
way
don't
I
think he
hears it, you lot aren't gonna. So the way I hears it, you lot haven't found a way to stay home.
It would seem that way.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Well, sounds like prime opportunity. Well, it is times like these, yes. I've found that many people come to either forget or reminisce. What'll it be?
That's why I
I'll
get
take an
fucked up. Give
absinthe
me
to
your
that one.
hardest liquor.
I just look at Aiden and I'm like,
You just,
I'm very
you just,
certain they have stuff that can put me down like an elephant. And you what?
you
I
want
then
to,
immediately look at Vagar and I'm like,
Vagar
she's
just shrug.
crazy, you know that, right?
yeah,
just let
just,
it be.
you, Renshaw's gonna, or not Renshaw, Canteen's gonna look over at the lovely, at the lovely little lady. It's like, you're saying you, you want the strongest thing I have.
Yes. I haven't had a drink in so long. I've been working
You
so
want to
much. And Vagar's just going to be like,
follow.
just give her something that won't make her fall on her ass after the first sip.
I believe that's up to the missus.
Fine.
Would you want something of that nature?
I want to be fucked up.
I have just the thing. He's gonna he's gonna he's gonna walk over to he's gonna walk over behind the bar, grab something from the top shelf, pour a little pour a little glass of it, like a shot. Like one, try one of these.
He's going to grab it, tap it on the table, and just down it.
Out like a light.
Yeah, immediately done. You
Boom.
just
I just
what?
look over her. I just reach one hand out just in time to make sure her head doesn't hit the floor, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Vagar's going to grab her and just like hold her up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
and then I
what
look
did
at
you?
Vagar and I'm like, she's crazy, you know that, right?
What did you?
her.
What did you give her? He's recorking the bottle and replacing it back on the top shelf. Drow poison. A nice little humbling gift every time someone thinks they're too tough for my place.
Drow poison.
Like, is this going to kill her?
No.
No,
I
she's
wonder if
just
that'll
out.
work as a good sleep aid.
I've heard some circles use it. So,
Actually, I'm gonna say this. Canteen would know it is not a restful sleep.
yeah. He's like I've heard some
Yeah.
circles use it as a sleep aid. I've also heard I also heard they seem more sleep deprived than the rest.
Uh-huh. Out of character, just the thought of someone using a bottle of drop poison like Z-Quil or something is just hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's also been noted that drug-induced sleeps have never been proven to be restful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, now I'm assuming the rest of you want something more sensible.
Yes. I think I'll take a absinthe martini, if you would.
What?
Absinthe. You know, green berry.
Ah, ah. Sorry, I misheard you. Get. He's gonna. He's gonna tell one of the. He's gonna tell one of the other bartenders to grab him the absinthe.
Hmm.
Yeah. What'd it be for? What'd it be for you two lads?
We'll have a beer.
I unseal my helmet and I'm like, well, I'll start with water for now. Never was one much for drinking. Then again, never really had much experience or time for it. But the ODSTs, well, now they're always seem to be having some
Yeah.
sort of
He's gonna.
skill or something running on the ships.
He's
Crazy bunch.
he's gonna go ahead and go. People don't. He's gonna. He's first gonna ask what kind of be. He's gonna slide over the glass for Emiria. The what's the and he's gonna go. He's gonna go. What manner of beer? What manner of beer you prefer? I've got wheat based. I've got wheat based, rice based, just about anything you can think of.
I don't think I've tried rice. Let's try that.
There's some of this. So actually I think it's a type of wine.
Mm.
Been a minute since anyone been a minute since anyone's actually gotten it.
Can
Aside
you
from
do
the
a flight?
Thrycreen.
Can you do a flight of beers? Just so I could taste? See what I
Absolutely.
like? Sweet, I'll take that.
He'll set that up for you, and then he's going to turn to the Spartan. You're now no one comes here just for a glass of water, mate. Tell you what, I'll whip you up something, and then he's gonna get one of those. He's gonna like put a bit of fruit juice in the water, a few different things that kind of help with muscle relaxants and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mix one of those for you, and then give that to you.
They're like, well, I'm here because I'm with stuck with them. Bunch of crazy. I'm picking it up, and I like have the eyebrow, the one eyebrow
Yeah.
raised, just looking at it funky.
It's
Well,
it's good for
surely this is better than ODST moonshine.
it's not even alcoholic, mate.
All the more reason why it should be better. Here goes nothing.
I mean, it tastes
Y-
fine. Then again, I don't think
Yeah,
you can taste.
you can probably taste it. You just like bad experiences.
You probably just don't.
With
You probably also just I have no idea if you can taste, and even if you can, if you even have any emotions assigned to any taste.
probably not. Other than
Yeah,
probably like ODST moonshine is potent. It's probably like paint thinner or something.
yeah. And he's gonna, and it's like, what about you? I don't know if you have anything for me. My acids are dextro. I have an allergic reaction to most things. He's gonna actually scratch his he's gonna scratch his beard a little bit. You're dextro. Hang on, I think I got something in the back. He's gonna leave, head in the back.
While he's
He's
gone,
gonna be gone.
Celia turns to Nilo. You're not the only sphere that has dextro-based beings. They're not exactly common, but there's a few others.
And then he's gonna return. Oh, I found it. Knew I'd find this. Knew I had this somewhere. Don't know what language this is, but it's. Don't know what language this is, but Nelson picked it up for me. He's picked it up for me a while back. And he's just. Seeing as I don't get as many Dextro customers, I'm gonna just let you have the bottle. And he's gonna set it down. And Nilo's gonna look at it. This is Keelish. Quarian mead? My people made mead?
This is what I lean over and be like, honey, everyone makes booze.
Every
Everyone.
society
Even when they're
Not
not
my-
supposed to.
Not my society. We we had too few resources to manage even that.
And yet here before you is a bottle of mead for
Everyone
you
makes
people.
booze at some time or
She's
another.
like looking it over. This is dated before my people even created rocket engines.
So
I didn't
you know
say
it's
it would be
good.
recent. I said they made it at some point.
Might be
Everyone
aged.
makes alcohol.
You just canteen.
Even
Might be aged as might. That is some aged stuff I want to point out.
Well, it was probably kept in a null box for at least part of that time.
Yeah. Either way, it's just the idea that it's just been around since before the freaking, before they even left their, before they even traveled to their moon, let
Hmm.
alone, let alone any actual
like
space travel. It's just
500
freaking
years or
ridiculous.
something.
Hmm.
1,000
It had to be
years.
more than that, probably. But yeah. Oh, he's just, and he's gonna go ahead and get the, he's gonna go ahead and get the get the thing uncorked. Get that get it poured out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I thought I was done saying this. Kila Salai. And she'll go ahead and take a drink out of this stuff. A
Mm-hmm.
lot stronger than she probably expected, but whatever. Not sure I heard that one. So what are all your stories? Don't recognize any of your particular styles. Got got some sort of bounty hunter, big lad in armor. Hey, 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 not exactly sure what I'm making you. He's eyeing Amiria. And
That
you're,
makes 5 of us.
and then of course this little one who seems to like thinking too much. You say that as if you don't put a lot of thought into things.
I think it's more like that you overthink things. Useful
And now
sometimes.
I see you're the sensible one.
From time to time.
With a response like that, Celia, don't tell me you brought another sociopath into my bar.
What is that, anyways? Oni shrinks keep using that term to describe me and my fellow Spartans. Never really bothered to explain it, though.
As long as you don't start nothing in my bar, I won't have to bury you.
Fair enough.
What's the story of that? What's the story of that one, by the way? He points at the very unconscious at the very unconscious missus.
Vagar's wife.
That's my wife. Yep. Yeah.
Uh. Not often I see couples come in here together. Most of the time they either arrive separately, and roughly 25% of the time an argument ensues.
Oh,
He's gonna look at the GIF next to you. He's gonna look at the GIF sitting near you guys. It's like, you best not be causing me any more trouble today, mister. And then he just sort of pokes him and the guy falls over unconscious.
I just turn my head and look at him like, does everyone pass out in your bar?
Not everyone. Few patrons actually leave of their own accord after paying. He's like, not everyone, just the more troublesome ones.
Hmm.
Give me a moment, I'll be right back with you. Play some barnacles, Mr. Finnegan. He will be.
The question is, does
And
he just grab him like under
pick
his
up
two arms and just drag him out, or does he actually like lift him up and carry him out?
No. He actually walks over to another one of those phone devices, those old timey phones. Pulls it off the wall. Works the dial a little bit. Then he
You have a
sits.
rotary wall phone.
He's gonna hang. He's
That's
gonna.
like ancient tech.
And he's.
Pen and paper. 600-year-old, that tech.
Hello, Mrs. Finnegan. I'd like you to ask that you come retrieve your husband. He is now drunk himself under the table again. And then you see him quickly pull the phone, the receiver away from his ear, and you can almost hear shouting on the other end. I'll be sure to work him extra hard this time, I promise you. And then thank you dearly. And then he hangs up the phone. Shubia, Miss Finnegan runs a bakery, rather popular, although some of the sales had waned slightly when that new restaurant opened. Between that and her husband drinking away everything he makes, it's honestly a wonder she's still with him.
I assure you, we're not like that. I promise you.
You say that while in the same breath being able to look over and see that your wife has passed out on the floor.
She's usually not like this. I'm gonna put her up on the back on her seat and just onto the resting her on the bar and just putting a jacket over her. It's like
No.
she's usually more talkative, not passed out.
I know. I noticed. We were getting along fine.
Yeah, she really likes you.
This is a lot. Nilo's kind of starting to sway a little bit. Like this is clearly more alcohol intake than she's taken in a while.
I look down at my glass and I'm like, you know what? It's not ODST moonshine. It's the soul here, so I'll risk it. Get me a whiskey.
Aye. He'll go ahead and get you another. He'll go ahead and get you another one. Get you an actual whiskey. Put it alongside your. Did you finish the other one or?
He probably did, and just set it to the
All right.
side.
And he'll swap out the glasses, and he'll actually start cleaning the one you finished. Here. So, what are your lot's stories? I heard some from my brother, but it's always more interesting to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, as the saying goes.
That is
I had a horse. Her
complicated.
name was Penelope.
What is your stance on uh general laws? Otherwise, I won't be able to tell you much.
As long as you don't cause trouble around here, I don't really care what you do, where you come from.
Ah, well, it all started a while ago. You know, terrible things happen in your hometown. Decided to move to a big city. Thought you'd get somewhere. Well, sometimes life doesn't turn out the way that you want it. Next thing you know, the whole place burns down, and you lose the ones that you love most. So you head to a much more stable place. You find, what's it, get yourself into a degree that you thought would be more beneficial, and then you end up all caught up in some side club where you start sneaking into graveyards for medical purposes. And then those medical purposes become convoluted, and you start coming up with this strange liquid that can supposedly bring the dead back to life. Of course, they always come back wrong. No matter how much you try to perfect the formula, they always come back wrong.
So you're a
Perhaps maybe
You mean you used to go grave robbing for more bodies than you to animate or whatever? If I just gesture with a hand up and down towards Amelia.
in Nephalia, they have very lax laws about the subject, and if they really didn't want you to steal the body, then maybe they should have put a grab cage on it.
So you're a necromancer. I don't see why you were so concerned. I mean, that's Mr. Hobbs's profession by choice over there, and this this black robed, rather frilly dude with tattoos just kind of waves a hand.
I would imagine that like there's also like straight up a demi-lich sitting on
Yeah, yeah,
the display on the bar behind it, just like there's just a demi-lich there.
yeah,
No, real
yeah. He's
question
just like,
is,
and
would Winston ever show up as a visitor here?
if he can travel the astral sea, who knows?
Yeah.
I
Our
He's
mean,
probably
favorite
not here
skeleton
though.
necromancer.
But he's like,
grave robbing is still a crime nonetheless, despite the fact that no one's going to use the body.
some people believe it disturbs the souls. Some people are correct. It really more depends on where you're from and what your beliefs are. I've seen.
Or some people just don't bother with graves, at least not for the last 50 years. I take
There's,
a hard
there's
swallow.
also a. You guys are also seeing a holographic mermaid who's just kind of lazily, almost drunkenly, sort of drifting around. she's she's sort of hovers near. It's always the little things. Sorry to hear about your family.
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
It is a
She's
little bit sad.
that's Wink. Forgive her. She pers- she usually behaves a bit slow when we're in business. Don't understand why. Something about it always attracts customers. And she was talking about her. Points at Emiria. He's like, Wink just kind of does like an over dramatic shrug. It's a living.
Uh-huh.
Kind of lazily rests on the bar. Think all this talk about Skirvo lately. Maybe I should link up, talk to Duchess sometime. It's been a minute.
Are you an AI off of another ship?
She's the Of course, she's the central intelligence of the Winking Whale. Her name's
Ah,
Wink. Because whale seemed like a calling her whale seemed like an argument waiting to happen. She briefly shoots a
yeah,
sneer.
yeah. Chief had a AI that was based off of Dr. Halsey, and she was, well,
Based off.
very set in her way.
Boy, speaking of based off, I got a funny story for you. You might be wondering how a ship like mine gets the name Winking Whale. You see, it was actually the name of an old tavern back where I come from. My captain was drafted, you see, back during the war. We had, and he'd much rather have been back at the bar, so when he was told to name the ship, he gave it as an unsubtle nod to where he'd rather be. Rest's been sort of grandfathered in. I gained an immense interest in why you lot engage in intoxication, and as well as auditory damage. Folks like me can repair such things. A lot more difficult for you lot. And that's why I've been running this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a side hustle, top me usual sailing goods and trading nonsense. You would not believe how many effigies I've had to deliver for folks. Them religious zealots pay good money, though.
When they're not trying to kill you.
Well, well, it's on. Well, that's usually when you just try to cut them off from their high church. Unless you find out that their god is in fact a real nasty piece of work that you'd rather steer clear from.
Uh-huh.
Best steer clear from that sort. Uh, tell you if you tell you what, you see someone worshiping the cult of Lolth, just turn away.
Noted.
No.
Hmm.
And if you're telling me that you see someone worshiping the Lady of Pain, I'll call you a liar.
This Wolf figure.
Some drow goddess of spiders or some bollocks. She's apparently a rather mean one.
What's a drow?
Not two.
He just hooks a thumb at the drow bartender that's next to him. One of them.
Ah.
Hmm.
It's like speaking of which, we're starting to run low on the poison. Go make more. Guy's actually gonna let out a bit of a
Martin
sigh.
just shake
Go,
his head.
go behind.
Mutter, poison people to put them to sleep. Now I've seen everything.
I usually give it to folks who I think are gonna cause trouble.
You thought my wife was gonna cause trouble?
She's a spellcaster, isn't she?
Yes. She's blown up one building, okay?
He's gonna,
Only one.
he's gonna just kind of stare at you as if you answered your own question.
One is the loneliest number.
It was one building 90 years ago, just... She knows better now.
I have one question for you, Vagar.
What?
Either way, I'm still.
How drunk and or high was she at the time?
I will be back.
She
I
was
need the
about
bathroom.
14 or something. That's how they found out that she was a sorceress. Was that some guy tried to get with her and she blew him up, along with the whole building.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's a legitimate excuse.
Blew up the whole brothel. She doesn't like
I
to talk
mean,
about it.
using a bomb of that size is a bit excessive. Hand grenade would get
That
the
was
trick
just her.
done. But,
That was just her. There was no bomb.
well,
She was the bomb.
She is the bomb.
She is the bomb.
never mind. Never mind. Explosion of that size, but excessive. Hand grenade will done the trick. But, I suppose it would get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, she got a bunch of burns on herself. But since she
Ooh.
went through since she went through kind of what we went through, she's flawless now, so
Hmm.
it kind of repaired everything.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Plastic
thankfully for
surgery.
her, she was asleep the whole
Finger.
time, so she didn't have to endure the pain.
Wait. You mean you don't use anesthesia half the time where you're from?
No, no, I
Vagar,
don't.
Vagar wouldn't even know what anesthesia
No.
is.
This is like no.
Alright,
What
I'm back.
anesthesia? Is that like
It's anesthesia.
amnesia?
It's my understanding it's a drug cocktail right before they perform medical procedures on you that they pump you full of.
It's
Oh
To
for.
yeah,
knock you out
no, we
and
didn't use that when I was younger. No.
I mean,
Your.
I would say I'm shocked, but at the same time, we didn't have that during augmentations either.
Yeah, my wife's the lucky one here. She was asleep the whole time. She had the procedure.
It's not. It is nice to see that all of us have lived shitty lives in our own different ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ah, yes.
You know, I don't think
I
a
raise my
single
glass
one of you could
to
imagine.
mutually experienced pain.
I don't think a single one of you could imagine what it's like to have to live every second of the day in this damned thing.
I mean, have to and do. That's like splitting hairs.
Yeah.
But I mean, while I don't permanently live in this armor, there are times, operations, where we go the entire mission, days, even upwards of a week or more in the armor without taking it off or anything more than our helmets.
So you shit in the armor.
Yes.
Just look at your blank face with one finger up and like, you know what? I don't even want to bother explaining.
Yeah. She's just like modern science and
I raise my glass to Nilo and I'm like,
So
to
modern
fully
science
sealed heart
means
suits. And I clink my glass to yours and then down.
so modern
take
science
it.
means that we could just go about our day without you going to an actual bathroom, an actual outhouse. You just
Outhouse.
shit and
People haven't
piss
used
just where you
outhouses in
stand.
800 years.
Do you understand where
Get
I'm
used to
from?
hearing that. Get used to hearing that one. You're enough. I always love seeing these. Someone from a feudal era technology clan-based world come and meeting the spacefaring civilizations. Oh, now that's when the culture clash sparks begin to fly. Something's fierce.
What, like piss and shit?
It tends to be where some of these arguments start, oddly enough.
Uh-huh.
It always starts with sanitation, and then there's the little things.
Little things.
Like what kind of paper you use. Not even for sanitation, like to write on. Or if you even use paper anymore at all.
Do we use paper?
Do we still use paper? Hmm.
Like, if you have to think about it, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
don't think
My
soldiers
people
really
don't,
use
but
paper.
my
I
people
mean-
don't, but I filed a lot of hard copy paperwork when I worked on my pilgrimage at Mars.
I mean, Oni and military and the fleet comm probably used some paper documents just so they weren't stored electronically, hacking and all that.
She kind of half-heartedly points like, yes, that is one of the benefits of old technology. You cannot remotely hack a piece of paper. Just the only way to know what's on it is to physically look at it.
Yes, which is both convenient and inconvenient at the same time.
If you
For
want to hack a
security
piece of paper,
purposes,
don't you just, like, rip it? Like, hacking it?
No.
Like, hack and slash?
No,
No,
hacking.
no.
You gain
I've
access to the information nefariously, not the way you're supposed to. You put
Oh,
in
you
a
just steal it. The steal
yes,
paper.
that's
Yes.
yes, but you do that You do that with AI.
So you ask the AI to be like, hey,
To steal stuff. Yes.
look at this piece of paper, hack it.
Except it's not a physical piece of paper. It's a virtual piece of paper. The piece of paper never exists.
How is the piece of paper virtual? It's
You
just a
keep
piece of
using this
paper.
word,
It is wood.
virtual.
I look at Neil and be like, pull up your wrench thing on your wrist. Pull up any file on it. Doesn't matter which one. Anyone.
You're trying to explain the internet to someone who
Pull up a
does
file.
not know
Hang it
how
from
to
his wrist.
write.
I'm telling you, there's a ghost in the machine, and that's how it works.
You just pull up a file, any file. I'm object lesson here.
Not even ghosts, but hacking a piece of paper? No.
She's like Nilo is kind of hysterically laughing.
I am right like, woman, focus. Unless you want to spend who knows how long with these two. We can't even say anything.
I
Just pull up a file.
don't think
Anyone.
there's a.
Show me the evidence.
Yeah, let's see. Here's some. I was writing stuff about uh, about those things we saw, and I somehow managed to pull up some of my files on the creatures we encountered in the Astral Sea. Save for the Kraken, I didn't get a picture of that.
That is not a piece of paper. How is that a piece of paper?
It's a virtual piece of paper. There is no
How
actual
is paper virtual? It is tree.
There is no paper.
Right.
There is
It's
no
tree.
paper.
Mark,
There
it's
is that
tree.
word
How
again.
is it?
What does
There is no
virtual
paper.
mean?
It's stored
How,
in the machine.
how is it paper if
The
it's
data is
there?
stored in the machine, and you can have an AI hack the machine to read this information without there ever being
But
a
where
physical
is
piece
the
of paper.
paper?
There is no paper. It doesn't
But
exist.
you said that it's paper.
I said it's virtual paper. It means it doesn't exist physically. It exists
So if you put virtual
mentally.
in front of anything, that just means it doesn't exist like a virtual wife.
Yes.
How is that possible?
I feel like
They
Celia.
have
I feel like
books.
I feel
Very
like
Some lonely
sad.
people with AI.
I feel like Celia and Canteen are like sharing a knowing smile right now.
Yeah. No, Cantine just kind of leans into Celia. Thought it was getting quiet around here.
Freaking a bar fight breaks out between
Yeah.
Brad and
It's like, thought it was getting quiet around here.
between Brad and Vagars. It's like
Some of
how's
the,
the paper?
I imagine some of the other I imagine like a couple of the other patrons have actually turned their seats to enjoy the show.
Figure's gonna pull out his like journal and be like, "This is paper. That's not
Yes,
paper.
that's physical
That's-
paper.
Yes.
That cannot be read by machine. This can be read by machine.
Then your
That
machine's
cannot be read by
stupid.
machine.
Your machine sucks. If you can't read this,
Oh, it can with a camera.
but you said
have
it
to get the-
couldn't.
If you had if you put that piece of paper in a box somewhere,
Why
only
would I
someone
put it in a box?
To
only
store it.
someone could
Why would I want to store it when I have it on me?
only someone who could see only someone who could actually retrieve the box and open it could see it, whereas this could be all the way back at the ship and I could still read what was on it.
But that's
Okay,
not
okay.
paper.
I think I have an idea of what's going on. All right. So these AI, these ghosts in your machines
They're
have
not
like
ghosts. Yes.
ghost notebooks that they write in. And because ghosts have like the power to freaking go wherever the crap they want and not be noticeable, they can just travel in between space and time very fast to grab notebooks from other places. And so I guess
Sure.
like this
But the
hacking,
notebook doesn't have a
this
defined
No,
style.
so the ghosts
This is
are able to
that-
make their own notebooks.
is one
and
way
then
to
go back in
explain an
time
email.
and get
That's
other
what I
ghosts'
think.
notebooks. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That is
So-
certainly one
so
way to
that is-
explain an email.
I guess that is how
how
we'll
do the
explain.
ghosts get notebooks? Do you have to kill a notebook to give it to the ghosts?
No, the notebook never existed.
Make it make sense.
How
You
does
said
the
there's a
notes
notebook,
exist?
but there's
Okay,
no
okay.
notebook.
It is effectively lightning in a metal circle that does thinking.
You know, I want to point out that Canteen might have actually been sneaking your, particularly your glass, Brad, sneaking more pores into that
Yeah,
every time you weren't
That's
looking.
what I've been basing this on.
So you're not even consciously thinking about how much you're actually intaking.
Spartan is buzzed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Amiria's just like grabbed out her own notebook and is now starting to make sketches of like of making her
Ghost
own quote unquote AI of like ghost notebook.
The simplest version.
A little sheet ghost.
Simplest version, I would say, it's like you take lightning. You know what that is. Surely, right? Surely you know what lightning is.
Of course I do.
Yes, you use it to bring people back to life. In
No,
excess with,
no.
lamp oil and angel's blood. I am aware of the ritual.
No. Forget all that other nonsense. You take lightning and you put it in a metal
I don't understand
circle.
a single word of what you just said.
Take
Oh.
lightning, put it
You know,
in a
I'm
metal
happy to-
circle, and make
I'm
it
happy
think.
to have discovered through this session
How
that
you
Nilo's apparently a giggly drunk.
How do you make lightning think?
It's in a special metal circle.
Well, what kind of special metal circle makes lightning think?
Oh,
I pull out any.
yes.
I pull out some random computer chip that's
So
probably
they're not
Reaper's
ghosts.
tech. Like,
They're
what I mean?
demons. You trap the demons inside
not
the
demons.
circle,
How could
and
they
then
be
you
it is
make
just
it work for you.
lightning.
So it's just slavery.
They are talking
With extra
madness,
steps.
but we are talking
I just
madness,
face
but we are
palm and I'm
Slavery
bonding.
with extra steps. It's just slavery.
I just face palm and I look at the other and I'm like, they're hopeless. Hopeless.
I like the ghost one better because that made more sense.
I look
to
at my
me.
shot glass and I go, this seems fuller than when I last drank from
I
it.
don't know.
And I chug
Here's
the
one.
whole thing in one swallow.
Yeah, he's just like, he's just like, He's like, I'm not sure what you mean, mate.
Just down the whole thing in one gulp and set it down.
Yeah.
I foresee many migraines for the both of us, Nilo, in the near future with those two.
Like she's kind of leaning into you, like you're, part like trying to be comfort, part not, part definitely
Just
using you as
wobbly like
support. just like it's. I think we're all going to lose our minds out here.
Oh, I think we have. I think this is some sort of flood-induced fever dream or something. Flood
You're in-
nightmare.
You're
This
right.
can't be real.
You're right. I
You're
never
just
came
drunk,
out here.
Slugmuffin.
We just died out in. I died when the. I died when a reaper shot down my ship. This is all just a hallucination as I join the rest of my ancestors. They all play a sick joke.
Oh, this is just
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh,
Figure's gonna
trust me, if we were
shake.
dead by now, I would be enjoying some blessed sleep. Fortunately, Avison has decided to let me live another day. And I'm about to
Sleep.
make everyone's problem.
Sleep for long periods. You're
It's more like an
clearly mistaken.
eternal sleep.
Spartans only
It's either
sleep
that or
like
I get to
3
haunt a
hours.
house somewhere or a port.
Spartans only
I
need
hope
like
it's
3 hours of
I
sleep
hope
to
it's
be
the house
mission
of the local mayor. I hate that guy.
You don't.
Oh, fuck mayors. Fuck barons. Fuck
Who needs
kings.
The
politicians?
Berenstein Bears.
Who needs politicians? They always get in the way.
Might want to get.
Yes, them with their ethics and their blood tithes.
I'm curious. How much is everyone going at this point? Like, I know
I think
you
that's a
drank
good amount.
absinthe, which means that there's no way you're not at least buzzed, because that is some pretty strong stuff. Like,
Declared a hallucinogenic until it
Mhm.
wasn't.
yeah.
Look, she's already drunkenly making sketches of inventions she plans to make.
Yeah. Okay, so you're drunk. Vagar, what are you at?
He's like, he's tipsy. He's almost in like drunk.
Okay. Nilo's definitely gone. The
Wasted.
yeah. Uh, and the Spartans
Buzzed.
probably more inebriated than he's ever been in his entire life.
Figure's gonna shake Eden and try to wake her. Does she wake up?
Not at all. She's gonna be out for at least another couple hours. I was kind of hoping at least someone was gonna do that.
Because if she was like
I don't
awake
think it's working,
for all this,
Vagar. I
then
think
she-
you need to try harder. Just don't
You're,
knock her
you,
off the stool.
he's gonna shake her even more.
Seen ODST do that once, and they knocked Buddy off, and he fell flat on the floor. Big ol' thunk.
and
That
this-
was funny seeing them walk to medical and explain to Doc how the corporal got a concussion on shore leave.
One time, you weren't funny. One time there was this one guy. This Volus. They're another species that are from where I am. They live in suits like us, but it's not because everything is deadly to them. It's because they need to be pressurized because their planet has planet. They have high pressure where they come from, and also breathe methane. And they
Oh, so like Ungoi, but not crab people. Good. to know.
yes, maybe I don't know what a Volus looks like, but one time this Volus he really pissed me off, So I snuck up behind him and I hijacked the olfactory filters of his suit. Everything for him was smelling like refuse, and he was looking around for the whole day trying to figure out where the smell was coming from.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh boy, that's a good. That's a evil trick to play
Yeah.
on someone.
So,
That is.
Yeah,
we'll just jump ahead now a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably had to. Canteen was probably like, I'll keep an eye on these five. I'll keep an eye on these four. You might want to go. You might want to get Bruce or someone.
Yeah.
I'll think you're
Celia,
enough to drag him back.
yeah, Celia goes and gets some of the larger members of the crew, and they help you get back to the ship. When you all wake up with a hangover,
Yep.
the ship is already sailing in the astral sea once again.
Yeah.
Well, at least this won't last long. Advanced metabolism and all.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my helmet? There's my helmet. I slam it on. Set the visor to the darkest tint possible.
Yeah.
Thank you, computer.
Oh.
Muriel will take a look at her notes. Are they
Milo,
legible?
I want to point out. I want to point out just because it's
just
funny.
jumbled
Just
like
because
scribble
just because it's funny, and I hope this is okay, DM. Nilo still has half a bottle of that mead.
As for Amiria, your notes started off kind of legible and then just get progressively more legible as you read.
A
Yeah.
ghost in the machine. Huh. What am I gonna do with this?
I'm like, I'm not sure I immediately remember everything, but I think we were bonding.
Ugh. Well, I will say, at least at least it wasn't ODST paint thinner. Oh boy, that stuff is strong.
I'm pretty sure
Normal
paint.
people get drunk off of just the fumes.
I'm
At least
pretty sure you're
Spartans
not
avoid it.
supposed to drink a paint thinner. That's for removing chemicals.
That's what the shock troopers call it. I don't think it's actual paint thinner. Though, if the stuff
Hmm.
is as strong as it smells, it might as well be. Oh boy,
Celia
could run
walks up.
a starship off of that.
Celia walks up. Oh, good, you're awake.
You're finally awake.
Hey, you're finally awake. So we're all out in the sea.
Eden's gonna poke out from under her like blanket. It's like, shut up! You guys are so loud.
This woman who
So
got poisoned yesterday.
Shut up, or I will blow you up.
Been there, done that, honey. Plasma grenades, grand old time, and fuel rod cannons.
you're
Couple of glassings.
you
It's like, we're not blowing
did
anyone up today.
did you
Just-
need us for something? Kayla, I only had half of this?
We're almost to realm space. Captain thinks it might be good if you get if you get to stay on a planet for a while.
Ah, solid ground, not shipside.
I'm
a vacation?
I
No,
honestly
not
have less
Vacation.
I have less experience. I honestly have less experience walking planets side than I do ship hulls.
Planets aren't too bad, as long as you're not under a plasma bombardment.
They aren't.
Dreadful
Like I
things.
said, I spent time on Mars.
Still, it should be good to stay on a to stay in a sphere when you don't have to when you're not on a time crunch.
I
Yes.
I hope you're. I don't mean to. I don't want to sound rude, but but Ticker had been wrong before, it seems. Ugh. This. How. Did, does that. Does that other one know what it means to cut someone off? I want to point out he does.
Yeah.
He probably just didn't for us.
He was probably too busy enjoying the free show.
Enjoying the free show, making sure there was a free show for his other customers, and also he said he'd take care of you, and nothing spells bonding like getting drunk together.
If I
Oh,
had to, if I had to guess, Canteen probably was too busy enjoying your banter.
Banter.
Uh-huh.
Were we arguing something about paper?
I think so.
My
Paper
notes
and
say that we were.
ghosts.
I
Yes.
vaguely remember
You-
trying to explain
I'm
what
gonna look at her notebook.
file is.
You started off pretty good, and then it just sort of.
Went off the rails.
Did I read
Is
what I
that
wrote?
supposed to be a? Is that supposed to be a T or a Q?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh. uh,
You feel the ship. You feel the ship land in some water outside.
Oh, we've
oh
made
no, we should probably.
Landfall? Seafall.
Does the galley cook? What's his name? Does he know how to make something that's? We need
Demos. His name's Demos.
Yes.
pull up some stuff going. Where it's like, okay, like what is this? Like what does the suit say I need? What is the like
A
we need
hangover
some.
cure.
Yeah.
As
Like,
if on
Ooh,
cue,
blackest of black
Yeah.
coffee. And
as if on
Double
cue,
black
Demos
coffee.
arrives
I
a
need it.
with a steaming cup of dark liquid for each of you. It is not coffee, but it looks sort of like coffee. This should
for
help.
some reason, I'm
French
not even.
liquid in the morning.
Close enough.
This should help with what you're
Chug.
going through.
Vagar's gonna help Eden up just so she can drink.
Yeah. She's probably not even properly hungover. She's just groggy.
Yeah. It is like straight up a magical potion that cures your hangover.
Yeah, I'm going to not even think for a second. I'm just going to drink
Experience.
it and then realize, oh fuck, I just poisoned myself. I just go, I'm just like, well, that was Keela, I did not scan that. This
Don't
is why I
worry.
don't drink.
Don't worry. I took care of that.
Thank you.
Oh,
Keela, I'm sorry. This is why I don't drink.
yeah. I don't see why the ODSTs do it all the time.
Take the
Ooh.
edge off is the excuse. We should probably
With a group of
surface.
friends,
Let's
just not the aftermath.
see what this. Let's hope this. Let's see if this place is. Let's see what this one looks like.
Right, you
Head top side.
yeah, you all come out on the top side. You see you're on an ocean. I assume Skirvo is actually at the helm because
Yeah.
you said he likes to do that when you're on water.
Yep.
Um,
I mean,
So-
Skirvo's got far more experience than Ticker does when it comes to sailing a
Yeah.
vessel on the open sea.
yeah. But you land on you're on the ocean. You see a few islands in the distance, and the ship is heading towards a coastline. You see what looks like a bit of a cove ahead of you, and some cities up and down the coastline.
Ah.
We just surf. who just surfaced. Keep it
A lot of us. Say, were you
good.
able to get any interesting data off of that banshee?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Still at the rest, giving some more overhaul looks.
Interesting.
Make sure. Skirbo's also. Yeah, he's looking around a bit. He's gonna pull up some sensors. Let's see if I can find. Let's see.
And by the way, Skirvo, real quick,
Yeah,
Chlorith responded to you and said if you're going to find your way to
yeah,
Golden Space, he has a contact on he has a contact in Realm Space,
yeah.
and Cerberus knows how to find him.
No, we just need to locate an old crewmate of ours, Skirvo, or not Skirvo, Cerberus. I hope he's dealt. Last I saw, last I heard of him, he was. Last I heard of him, he had 5 heads. For his sake,
Hey, what now?
I hope he hadn't gained any more.
Celia turns to Bradley. Cerberus is a dragon with multiple heads. Not that uncommon.
Uh-huh.
What was uncommon was the fact that he kept growing them. He's not a Hydra,
That seems
Mary.
abnormal.
I want to point out, it is weirdly that a lot of the human crew members, or the more human-like crew members, are top deck this time.
Theron probably makes. Yeah, he did say he had some sort of a. What do you call it? A condition? He would just consume magically, and bop, out comes another one. It was the
Indeed.
strangest thing to see.
Yeah, as you sail towards the cove, you see 5 shapes flying towards you in sort of a bit of a V formation.
What are they?
I assume
What are
Skirbo
those?
uses. I assume Scoobers. I assume
Scoover.
Skirbo uses. I assume he uses his spyglass to look closer.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna, yeah, his eye patch, flips upward and a spyglass expands out.
They appear to be 5 small dragons, predominantly red. Um, they are flying towards you. They are definitely flying towards you specifically, and they don't look like they're flying in to attack you.
What do they want? Small dragons. What could they want? Oh, he's gonna retract the spyglass. Neela's just kind of looking at him, kind of like, so that's why he has an eye patch.
That
Another answer about this enigmatic
useful.
machine. Yeah.
I just reach over and grab the chip that has Crusader and stick it in my helmet. You all see me like jolt and
Yeah.
shiver briefly, and then I shake my head like, nothing will wake you up like plugging an AI straight into your brain.
Wait, that goes to your brain?
Well, plug it into the helmet, and then there's a chip in the back of my head that connects directly with the armor interface, and it processes thoughts subconsciously faster than I can actually think them. It's how I'm moving around in this half-ton armor suit so easily. And yeah, it takes some getting used to.
I'm
I'll say
pretty
that.
sure that is horrifying.
The 5 dragons fly overhead and then wheel around and land on the back railing of the aft castle. Skirbo, you notice that while they are all predominantly red, only the biggest is entirely red. Is entirely a red dragon. The others, the second biggest has patches of bronze scales and the fin of a bronze dragon. The third biggest has some purple scales and some which are slightly translucent. The second smallest has blue scales and some little floating bits near his horns, and the smallest has lighter red scales than the rest, as well as some platinum scales.
I have a feeling about something,
You
and I'm gonna go ahead and act on it. And you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Cerberus, is that you?
Wow, I mean, you're kind of close, but like, no.
Yeah, like, I don't think so.
Like, is that Cerberus's children or something?
That's my guess.
Those are my
Yeah.
guess.
There you
I
go.
think I know who the mother is.
Ah, he got busy. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
The lead dragon looks confused, and she looks around at the other dragons for a second. Oh, I guess I can see why you would think that. No, he heard you were going to be coming here, and so he sent us to bring you bring you in.
Ah, I see. You looks around. You must be the missus then. I don't think I've had the pleasure.
The dragon once again the dragon this time looks like absolutely startled. No.
But how?
Cerberus is our father. I should mention the dragons are significantly smaller than like they are
Yeah.
very young dragons. They can't be older
Yeah.
than 5 years old.
So like just
Yeah.
barely out of wormling stage, or
Yeah.
Yeah. So you.
Oh, the Cerberus
Well, I
got
can hard.
busy.
Well, I can hardly make
Okay.
us. Well, I can hardly make correct assumptions when you don't introduce yourselves. Now, do I? Or did your father never teach any manners?
Both are plausible.
The dragon. Sorry. Uh, I'm Crimson, and she points at the dragons. The one with the bronze. She points at the one with the bronze one. That's Forge, the blue one. Starfang. That was the purple one. The blue
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Blue Wing, and the little one is Skylight.
I wasn't even aware. I wasn't even aware old Cerberus settled down. And he chose here of all places.
Like Ticker goes like, we got an invitation to the wedding.
He chose. Abis. You haven't had too many troubles out here, I hope.
No one really wants to trouble 7 dragons.
I mean, he's got a point there.
I
She's
can
got a
think of
point there.
someone who would. I can think of someone who would. That's why Skirbo is
Skirbo.
asking. That's kind of why there's actually a reason why a lot of the human crew members are up top right now, or at least human enough.
Yeah. Keep in mind
Skirbo,
that Crimson is a pureblood red dragon.
yeah.
Oh, so different. Different
Yeah.
sugar mamas. Okay.
No, they're all from the same mother. But
Oh,
Yeah.
each one has different parts of one of Cerberus's heads. So
Yeah.
Crimson is Crimson is
Okay.
pureblood red dragon. Ford's is half red and half bronze. Starfang is half red and half amethyst. Blue Wing is half red and half sapphire, and Skylight is half red and half platinum.
Got you.
You're, how long till we make it to port?
It's just a few minutes.
All right. He's just I can name at least one. Here. You. I can name at least one person who'd want that sort of thing. Faerun hasn't exactly been a safe place for a while now.
Blue Wing, you notice that Blue Wing actually has a pair of glasses on his snout.
Yeah.
He speaks up. He is right. There was that thing in Cholt a while back. There was stuff going on in Barovia.
Ugh. I heard something. One of the papers said something about Cholt. I didn't see what that was about.
Some lich was here doing something. Some sort of dark necromancy. Some adventurers put a stop to it.
Well, that's one thing about Faerun I'll always say. Was never short on adventurers. Used to be one of my favorite spots to find new crewmen. Not these days. Not these days. Not since. Haven't been able to. Ticker, you know exactly whose hunting grounds these are. You think he's back yet?
Could be.
That's
It's been a while since we last saw him.
never figured out a way to track that bloody thing. Either way, I trust Clara to keep the others safe. And I trust Duchess to keep her safe.
Captain, is there something we should be aware of while we are here?
Likely not a threat to most of you. Might be a threat to one of you. Maybe both. Are one of you afflicted with lycanthropy by any chance?
Beggar's gonna slowly raise his hand.
Best keep a cap on that then. I wasn't here for most of this. This all happened while I was marooned in an island off the coast of who gives a shite. You're some upstart adventurer of some sort. Took down a vampire lord that apparently came into power around these parts.
Okay, so
Since then, he's gone mad, and most people only call him the Impaler.
okay, so it's just another monster hunter. I'm also a monster hunter, so
You missed the part where I said he's gone mad. When we last encountered him, he was hunting. Dear Clara.
Blue Wing speaks up. The Impaler has not been sighted for a while. He is within this world currently, but has kept himself to his castle.
Oh, so a recluse.
He
Well, that's
erected a
good.
he erected a castle. Sounds unusual. Maybe his. I'm not sure I like the sound of that any better. Thought I had a read on him. Hate it when I
Are,
can't. Hate it
are
when I
we gonna
can't figure.
check out the castle, or are we just gonna leave him be?
Best we leave him be. But
Alright.
I've only heard scarce legends about him, but something tells me that a vampire lord of this land could only be harmed by something specific. Hadn't nailed down exactly what it is yet, but from what I gathered, it was some sort of ancestral weapon that was last seen wielded by our very quarry.
Yeah. Because out of character, Aldon would have kept that under lock and key.
Well,
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why that as
actually,
far
it's
as anyone outside, I'm just ruling it that right now
yeah,
that
I
as
know.
far as anyone
Yeah.
knows, the last person anyone saw who had that weapon was Vladimir.
Yeah, like technically,
Yeah.
it is currently under the care of Exithanter,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. But
yeah.
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 Because Aldon grabbed that was like, we gotta go.
All right, so yeah, when you
Yeah.
get into the when you get near the little cove, the ship goes into a like a sea cave, um, and you find yourself in a broad den that appears to be the home of several dragons by the look of it, including a pair of much larger dragons than the five small
Yeah.
ones. Um,
Nilo's getting a bit nervous at the large number of very large creatures.
one is the female is entirely red, and the other, the male, is has a red body, but the five heads: red,
Yeah.
bronze, amethyst, sapphire, and platinum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bring the ship to a halt and set the anchors.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cerberus, old boy. It's been a while.
Well, what brings you here?
He knows
Come with
exactly
pleasure,
what
yes.
brings Turbo there.
Yeah.
You gotta,
He's not letting on. He's not
Yeah.
letting on. He's letting his eccentricities flow.
Yeah. Hey,
He just
Tell
likes
me,
to
tell
hear
I
himself
know a
speak.
pie.
he looks at he looks right at Tinker. Tell me, does the old rust bucket still have it? You know, all the stuff. The sink, that magic icebox thing, the desk.
They took Lord of
The
Oxen.
table made of
Lord of Ox and
mahogany.
Sidar took the sink, but it's a nice sink. Good parting gift for him.
Ah,
And
yes, yes.
why would I ever get rid of, and why would I ever get rid of that chair? It's a nice chair. And I've rearranged my whole office once for that bloody table. I'm not doing it again just to get rid of it.
Who knows? Maybe you have found a bigger one. Something grand. Anywho, who are
Yeah.
them? They don't look like your usual sort. As he gestures to the current party.
I want to point out this is somehow a sorrier looking lot than the last one. I don't know
Also,
how that was possible when I thought of it out of context, I realized, oh my god, we are such a sorry new lot.
also, since when are you walking around with a knockoff version of you? You know, the flashlight head. He doesn't say flashlight head. The light face.
Yeah. That one. They're all new, displaced by recent events. I hear you know.
Oh,
You ever get
yeah.
checked out, by the way? I heard you.
out of character
I
real
knew you
quick.
had some concerns.
Cerberus never grew any more heads.
Yeah.
Like, well, it stopped after 5. So not really.
Upper body strength still fine.
Yeah, yeah. Two of the other heads then chime in. Sometimes we get all tangled around each other. It's real difficulty in tight spaces.
The other the other 5 dragons flew over to the two.
Yeah.
And the littlest one, Skylight, she speaks up. Father, they're really here for something important. We should
Oh, yes.
probably.
It's not
Yes,
my
yes,
bloody
yes,
fault that the. Well, it's not my bloody fault your father never writes. Wouldn't kill you to. Wouldn't kill you to pick a claw against some paper now and again. I didn't even know you were married.
The mother speaks up. I did think we sent an invitation.
So I'm not going crazy.
There
Okay,
you
good.
go.
Good. I thought I was losing my mind. Mine. Call him. Did you not make sure he read? Do you not make sure he reads his mail or something?
Ticker searches through a couple of boxes nearby. Oh, there it is. I kept meaning to tell him. It
Oh.
was a busy time dealing with
Ah.
some of the Ioran issues.
He
No.
Skirvo pulls out the
Embers.
letter, opens it. What's the missus's name?
Shahara?
Oh, it is Shahara.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's like, but bloody. And then he's gonna look at Ticker. I told you we have Mary handle this. She's detail oriented and she barely forgets anything.
It was delivered straight to me for some reason. I don't know why the mailman thought that was a good idea. And we were dealing with all that stuff with the Dunwalls. Didn't
Nasty
ever
business.
get time to.
Nasty business.
All 5 heads blink in perfect sync, just staring at you.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'll arrange for a suitable belated wedding gift of sorts. It's lovely to see you doing well for yourself, by the way, Shahara. Time. I see that time outside of. What the hell? Your time outside of Jazeera has done you well.
Very well. Yes. And yours as well, it seems. Your crew seems bigger than last I saw you.
Oh. Always the benefit of seeing. Always the benefit of seeing of being able to actually go out and see the sights. You did manage to get the last of my payment, right? Everything else getting mixed up in the mail. I'd hate to still be indebted to you.
Of course.
One of Cerberus' heads will lean over. Tell me, did you get all them crazies off?
Still got that one. He keeps getting himself in debt.
Oh,
One of you.
yes.
And he's gonna look at the mast. And then he's gonna tell Arnessa. Could one of you two go up there and see if he's even still alive?
I'm gonna rule that, like, at this moment, you see, like, Mortimer's tail loll over the edge of the crow's nest. And
Yeah.
it's in a very drunken way.
Yeah. Could one of you go up there and see if he's still alive?
I never figured out why you kept him around. At least all them
He
other
owes me.
fools got themselves killed off.
He owes me too much money to let him die so easily.
Alis climbs up, pokes him.
There's one thing a dragon knows, it is money.
Yeah. So I hear you've got information on how to get to Golden Space.
Ah, yes. Follow me this way.
Alive. I'm
Uh,
alive.
So,
is it?
out of character, real quick, the information that Cerberus has to give to Skirbo is that there is an Illithid captain near Waterdeep that
Excellent.
that has that has information on a stable route through the nearby stormy portion of the Astral Sea.
All right.
And Cerberus has a map to get has a crystal to give him that will function as a map.
Let's see here. Where did I find it? So, sail yourself on up to Waterdeep. There's an enlisted captain who knows a route through the storm up there. Now, where is that blasted? Hey, get your purple head out of my arm's reach.
While you're searching for it, Blue Wing flies up to the top of flies up to the top of whatever it is you're looking at, grabs it without even having
Ah,
to
yes,
search
there
for
it
it,
is.
hands it to you.
Meanwhile, the Sapphire and Amethyst heads are in the middle of a shouting match with each other while the other three just look right at you. Perfectly normal.
Yeah. I see. Well, I see it. Well, it's good to see that at least it's good to see that your progeny have inherited their mother's ability to keep her head screwed on right.
Don't I know it?
It's been lovely. Well, as much as it pains me to say it, I best be going. We wouldn't want to keep up more of your time. Although
Yes.
although there is one more thing we should handle,
Mm.
and then they're just gonna make sure that they're getting the mailing order straightened out because Scrivo's actually kind of clearly a little upset that he
Yeah.
missed that.
Yeah. I mean, out of character, they were dealing with some really crazy Civil War crap when that was going down.
Yeah.
So
The fact that he wasn't even aware that he missed it though irks him all the more.
yeah. As you're getting ready to leave, Forge is begging Cerberus and Shahara to let him go with them, and they don't appear to be having any of it.
Yeah.
Now you know something. That Waterdeep's got that special magic barrier around it that keeps all dragons out unless you have that ancient gold dragon's magic stick. And we don't have that stick. You know that. Why do you even bother asking me? You know my answer.
My interest in hiring your mother was more out of the desire to get her out of an awful situation. I'm not about to let some wormling get himself killed just for some glory. Not under my watch, and especially not the child of someone I know.
Forge grumbles something about never getting to do anything cool.
We can revisit this conversation in 300 years.
When you're old enough, boy.
Morty's gonna look down from his crow's nest. It's like,
You had a 3-year-old in your. You had a 3-year-old mouse in your team. How old's the wormling?
Paimon was middle-aged.
She was 3.
Middle-aged? I thought she was running more on or senile. Crazy.
Apparently, that's what counts for middle-aged for Softpaw. There's a reason I don't employ much of them.
High turnover rate.
Extremely. I had If I had to go for every funeral for one of them, I'd never get out to sea again. Anyways, we best be going.
Mhm. Do enjoy your trip in the seas, sailing around. And next time you see Lord of Oxen, tell them I said hello.
Of course, I'm sure they'll be happy to have heard from you.
Oh, wait, that
Sorry,
that
write that
reminds
down.
me. That reminds me. He reaches in, finds a box, something that's marked like deep sea kraken tentacles. Lord of Ox wanted me to have you take these to him.
Ah, yes. Yes, I heard. Ah, yes, Wobber. I heard he had some sort of delivery. Get these. Get these in cold storage. Immediately. Thank you again, sir. Thank you again, Cerberus. Shahara.
Hmm. See you
Lovely
around.
seeing you both again.
Don't be strangers now.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah, you sail the
And
ship back
set
out.
sail.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have the main party plus Celia get dropped off
Hmm.
at a little coastal town
Yeah.
to kind of just like spend some time there and such. And then
Hmm.
we're gonna come back to the other chunk of the party next session, but we're just gonna go with the main party right now. So you get
Fair
dropped
enough.
off in this tiny little coastal town, um, along with Celia.
Yeah. Here. Here. It
So
sounds
no,
like a
Eden
lot of
or
things
Eden.
happened at this Jazeera place.
Tell me, is it normal for people with that many heads to get in arguments with themselves while carrying on conversations with somebody else?
Some of them. Ettins have it terrible. Both of their heads hate each other.
Uh-huh.
Two-headed
That
giants.
sounds that sounds like evolution just gave them a middle finger.
They're not exactly a product of natural evolution.
Well, then their
Something
creator clearly hated them.
Clearly.
that's likely.
Hmm.
Ugh.
While you're there in the town, you hear what sounds like a rather distressed man's voice asking about his son. Um,
Oh boy. Here we go.
so you can start, Joey.
Very well. Where are you? Where are you? Come on.
No, he's asking a villager
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, have you seen him? He's about yay high, bustling with overconfidence.
Oh, I think I heard he headed over to Canterbury. Something about some monster that he wanted to get a look at.
I told him. Thank you. he's he's gonna walk by and then just kind of stop. The hell
A
are you supposed?
you
Hell are
see
you supposed to be?
you see a uh uh definitely a retired adventurer. Um,
Yeah.
he's he's got scars in various places on his body and just looks to be dressed like a farmer now.
Yeah. It's like the hell. Um. Hello. We're new here. Uh huh. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. My idiot son's about to go get himself killed. You good in a fight? I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think
Could
I got.
say that.
I don't think I got one of my javelins with me. I had to leave the whip at home.
Whip. That's
That's a
not
little
that
excessive.
useful of a tool.
I'm
Just-
gonna mention just one thing with Vladimir, Joey.
Yeah.
Because he is retired, he isn't going to go after Leroy himself, but like the idea is like he'll hire the party to go fight him.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine he still kind of goes because some habits are too hard to die, but the fact that he doesn't currently have a weapon on him is what's making it difficult for him.
Yeah. I have encounters planned, and since this Vladimir is an NPC, I don't feel bad kind of
Yeah.
doing a little direct control there. And
Yeah,
I have
no, it's all
encounters
right.
planned that him being there would mess up.
Yeah. So he's just like, it's like, all right. Well, you. All right. So he's gonna be like, would you be willing to help me?
For how much?
I
What's
I don't even think any of you know what currency we take here.
Doesn't matter.
I
How
definitely.
much?
I just flicked Vagar on the side of his head. I was like, what exactly is the problem?
My idiot son decided he wants to try to take up the old family business of being monster hunters, and he said he was going to go check out some. Apparently, according to this fine gentleman here, who left, charming, they is going. Tells me that he went over to where did he say it was again?
The neighboring town of Canterbury.
Yeah, the neighboring town, just to go check out some monster. Now I told him if he was gonna go do some monster tracking, he should be taking me with him. But clearly he didn't do that.
What kind of
And-
monster?
Would Vlad have any idea?
Nope.
I don't bloody know. And that's kind of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be a problem.
For all I know, he's about to go toe to toe with a beholder and get himself shot to little tiny pieces.
Oh, what?
Big scary eye monster. Hope you're not fighting one.
Oh.
Eye monster?
Oh yeah, we have eye monsters.
Just a big ass eye?
Yeah, big ass eyes. They come out of mirrors sometimes.
Do they
Of
just like
course you
roll
would
on the
have that.
ground? Do they like fly? Just like hover?
Nah, they float.
They float. Okay. I would love to take one apart.
I'd like to build a homunculus out of one of those guys.
Yeah, they're real charming. You go. Are you here to? Are you just going to banter? Are you going to help? Or are you going to help me with my kid? If not, I can find someone else.
Very well.
If you want us to help, then you gotta pay us.
Let's go. Oh,
Hang on.
Vagar,
This one.
hush.
This sounds rather serious.
Oh what?
How old is your?
I'm not doing this shit for free.
Oh yeah, I need to retcon something because I forgot to do it before
Yeah.
I introduced Vagar. Celia was given like a list of a few things that Skirvo wanted her to check out. So she left and told you that she would give you some independence.
All right. Yeah.
Gave you a map of the area.
All right. So I'm gonna look at the area. Well, I mean, it's not that far, and we could be enriching ourselves with learning more about the local area.
If we're fighting something, then I'm not doing it for free.
Kind of point.
You've been
bodies
fighting
aren't
stuff for
necessarily
free for the past since we met you.
Well,
That's
that's because I never didn't really have a choice because I was
You
just
still
thrown into
don't.
it. Now I have a choice.
You still don't.
Hmm.
You want?
I'm getting paid.
I proceed to pick Vagar up and throw him over my shoulder.
No,
Make an
Come on.
athletic, make a grapple check,
Yeah.
Oh, you slut.
and
Hmm.
Vagar, you make an athletics or acrobatics check to resist it.
Okay.
I would like to ask the kindly man, as far as my payment goes, can he show me in the direction of the nearest unsacked graveyard? You know, for reasons.
That is no contest.
No,
Yeah.
no. After
I
just like
even
struggling for a
close.
bit, Vagar's just
Throw
like,
you over one shoulder. You hear Crusader speak through my helmet speakers. Resisting against someone of vastly superior strength often does not succeed as
yeah,
intended.
shut up.
I
shut
suggest
up,
you
yep,
plan
yep,
accordingly
yep,
next
yes,
time.
I know. Shut up.
Are you some kind of? Are you some kind of necromancer? You know what? Tell you what. How about? You know, I'd rather not piss off the locals more than I already have. You can keep the monster for whatever you want after you're done with it. How's that sound?
Sure. Now, how
Takes a
do
look.
we?
The
You know,
look.
if I
All right,
orient my helmet
I can
compass,
do that.
man,
Yeah.
Canterbury said, that way.
All
Yeah.
right.
Lovely. Well,
Uh, I I live about here. Just come find me when you find my idiot son.
yes. Well,
I need
got
to
nothing
go.
else to
I need to
do.
go
Might as
home in
well.
case he. I need to go home in case he somehow grows a brain between his ears and decides to act and decides this is a stupid idea.
I've met a few Marines like that. Good luck to you. Come on, group. Let's go.
All right.
Yep.
I will be right back.
Fair enough.
You know, we really need a
And she
strike
waddle
team.
away, waddle waddle.
We're not exactly a Reaper team. None of you are
really
Sankey,
aren't.
or are you swordsmen?
And
Well,
it's a lot
this
harder
one.
when the person who's trying to be their people person is also playing the NPC.
Well, this one, I suppose, is a swordsman. That's for me.
Remember, I have the
Determined, dang it.
highest charisma of the group, who's not crazy.
Yep.
Because I think we established Emiria has better charisma than me, but she's also crazy, and we don't want her doing the talking.
Oh, I
Look,
can do
that leaves
deception very
you.
well.
Wait, what were
See,
your guys' charisma?
12.
Yours is 12?
Well, no,
My
mine
charisma's
is
14.
what is it? Mine is 18.
Mine's
Um,
14.
What
See,
is it? I
had
work in scenarios where we gotta sneak past a place or we gotta talk down someone from doing something stupid. I'm not one for casual conversation.
No, you
Yeah.
aren't.
mm,
I'll be back as well.
see in a couple of levels, I'm gonna pick up intimidation proficiency, and then I can use brawn to scare anyone who's doing what we want, but otherwise, interact with people. No, that's not me.
Oh, what
Unless
is
you want me to bash their face in.
That works too.
it? Because right now I'm also the one subbing in for highest intimidation with a +7 at the moment.
Holy bully.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, because I am AE, I can be terrifying if I choose to. It's just that no one has gone up in our grills yet for me to be terrifying.
Okay, I'm back.
Good to know.
So you head off down
Because
the
your character just a little bit patched.
you head
Yep,
off
Joey,
you head off down
the road.
the muddy road. Starts to rain
Joey
as
back?
you what?
Joey back?
Oh, Joey stepped out for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gonna be running a little late tonight, sorry.
That's fine.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I want to point out Vlad probably still wears his adventure overrobe
Yeah,
because it's good.
Yeah.
It's still good.
and Anyways, you start heading down the muddy road. It starts to rain as you head through the forest.
Yeah.
And about halfway on your trip, you see a section of the road that is like really heavily flooded and incredibly muddy in front of you.
Muddy road, washed out. This brings back memories. Unpleasant
I'm
ones.
Can't
assuming not
clean this
pleasant ones.
myself.
This looks like home.
No, it was either training on Reach or it was one of any one of a dozen different battlefields during the war.
I'm
You
not sure
Come
the
on,
idea of
let's go.
pleasant
carry me
memories.
on your back.
I should
I
mention
just
that
pick up
I should mention
Miria by like
hold on. I should mention that the ground between the trees themselves does look pretty dry and much more easily navigable.
hmm
Yeah.
I basically just pick Amiria up by her shirt collar and lift her up with one arm. Still have Vagar over my other shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
I'm assuming
Hagar
Come
Amiria
just
is
on.
gave up
quietly
trying to struggle.
I'm imagining that Amiria is now quietly disappointed that he's not doing that Stud Muffin's not doing a princess carry.
Yes. I am disappointed in your skills in handling women, Stud Muffin.
I'm just like, whatever.
So you're going through
Keep
the
on
No wonder
going.
you get no bitches.
so you're just going through the mud.
Well, I'm taking the more drier path, considering I weigh a half ton before my
Oh,
added
you are going through the
person.
trees. Okay.
Mhm.
So you start heading through the trees. Bradley, make me a quick survival check.
Survival. I'm pretty
Where
good at
we find the
those.
Goblin Camp.
No, it's not the
Campaigns
Goblin
ago.
Camp. Maybe I will have the Goblin Camp show up though. Nope, that does not quite do it.
What?
DC 20.
Oof.
Because there is
It'll
magic.
give him the help action.
I'm gonna be blatant. There's magic at play here.
Oh,
I would assume that people would be helping him. So, yeah, no, you don't get. I'm not gonna give you advantage
Mhm.
because of the situation. There's magic at play. So,
Mhm.
anyways, you end up losing the road, and as you're going through the trees, you come across a grove of your path takes you through a grove of particularly strange looking trees.
I was following along, by the way. I wasn't
Yeah,
being carried.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I only have
Okay.
2 arms. I have got the tiny one
Yeah,
and the belligerent
but
one.
Bradley was leading, which is why I asked him for the
Okay.
Yeah.
check. Um,
That's
so
what I wanted to check. Thank you.
yeah, so the trees have like very strange bark colors: gold, blue, black. The leaves are all sorts of weird colors too: silver and and red and all sorts of weird stuff as you're passing between the trees.
I call up to Nilo and be like, "What's your scanner thing picking up on any of these?" And then I look down at the mirror. It was basically like, I'm just carrying her by her shirt collar. I'm like,
You're telling me to
any of
scan?
this mean anything to you? Yeah, go ahead. Might as well.
I'll begin a scan.
Okay.
This is all.
There's some magic at play, but you can't figure out exactly what it is.
This doesn't make any sense. This is all.
is this identify time?
Yes, that's what Nilo did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see a
I'm
roll.
trying to figure out how to reflavor
You
it
don't
for
have
my character.
you don't have to roll for identify, but
Yeah.
there's weird stuff at play, but you can't figure out the specific nature of it.
My readings are all over the place. I'm not
Alright.
sure what we're looking at.
What kind of
Hmm.
roll would this be? If we were to make one.
It would be an insight check.
Insight. Oh. Oh. That's one of the eye skills that I don't have.
I might.
How's your wisdom?
It is a +2.
I have
Not
a.
bad.
We spend our points in intelligence and charisma, not wisdom.
I have a decent insight. I can make that check. Should I?
You can.
Go ahead, Velma.
Yeah, no. Actually, I
Understood.
do. I have +6 insight.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, I finally rolled above above 10 today.
Hey.
You feel some. You feel something about the air here is
Wrong?
not wrong, but just different. Not
There's something in the
necessarily
air tonight.
worse, but just like unusual. And
Something doesn't feel right.
as you're
This is
walking through, you begin to smell the fruit of the trees. And at first it just smells good. And then it starts smelling irresistible.
It's a good thing the only 2 people walking are the 2 people with sealed helmets.
I'm gonna need you all to make a saving throw with with a mental ability score of your choice.
Mental ability score.
Yes.
Mm,
Basically, you are
Mental.
trying to. You can also choose to not make the save, by the way. Basically, you are trying to make.
intelligence.
You're trying to have your actual mind win out over the primal instinct to grab fruit off the tree and eat it.
Mm.
I'm going
Since
with
Lilo
intelligence.
and I have sealed
That
helmets,
makes 2 of us.
filters, and things,
I'm
do we get
going for
advantage
it.
on the save?
If
Oh.
you do not get advantage, but you
Oh,
could you could after you could like turn off your nasal stuff.
Yeah, that's basically what I'll do.
Yeah,
So I'm just running after the
that would be after
rebreathers.
the first one. So there'll be 2
Okay.
more, and that'll be after the first one.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna do an intelligence save. Believe it or not, that's my best mental stat. Hey.
Okay, you all succeed
I'm
the
back to
first.
rolling like shite, guys.
You all succeed the first one. So second save for everyone but Bradley.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually also
Really?
switch off my olfactory
I got a
filter.
22.
No,
Okay, you all have to do it
succeed.
multiple times.
Yeah, you all have to do it
We all
multiple times.
succeeded.
Oh, okay, okay.
We all succeeded.
It takes time to get through the grove. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Just-
ahead and switch off my olfactory filters because I am not interested in poisoning myself today because I don't know where these plants came from
okay, just saves
or
from
what their chemical
Vagar
makeup is.
and
Yeah.
right.
So
Uh,
the 2 people who
Bradley,
don't have self-contained sealed enviro suit.
so
Stun
Emiria.
Muffin, I'm going to need you to hold me down.
You're dangling off the ground
12.
like you can't reach anything but me.
Okay, you still succeed. Once again,
Alright.
both the people on
No,
both the
Vagar.
people on Bradley are within reach of the branches.
Okay.
Vagar got a nat 1.
Hmm.
Hmm. Ooh.
Oh, and a 2.
All right, Emiria, and Vagar. Emiria and Vagar both start to reach for fruit.
Hey, what are you doing?
All right, you can so Bradley, make me an intimidation check.
Can I
Try
use
and
brawn instead?
are you
Good.
physically beating them to get them to stop?
No, I'll just sort of like you maneuver myself and them
do the,
out of the way, and with Vagar, because I got my arm
Like,
around to hold them up, to sort of
started to
squeeze.
carry us
Give 'em
underarm
a-
instead of overarm.
Yeah, and you know what? Go ahead and what's the worst that can happen? You can go ahead and intimidate them. Bring out the sergeant voice.
Okay, yeah, make your check.
Okay, intimidation or brawn? I can't remember.
Go ahead and make intimidation.
Okay, there is a difference in stats. Plus
I know.
1. Wow.
Proficient.
Plus 1. Oh. Hey,
Okay,
that drill sergeant voice.
you can both re-roll your saving throws.
Right.
Use my
Oh,
Master
thank
Senior
goodness.
Chief voice.
You both
I want
succeed
to point
this
out on
time.
my screen. I want to point out on my screen when Spencer rolled, Maddie's die immediately flipped to a 1.
All right.
That's funny.
All right. Once again.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
Since I am aware of this now, can can I have Ivo tie my hands?
Ooh, you
Yes,
get
but you would still be able to reach. You wouldn't like. You'd still be able to reach your arms up.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're getting
Thought I
weirdly
was coming
kinky
up with
right now, Spencer.
something clever. 23.
Okay. Yep. Nothing happens. One last time.
It's like we don't have
One
any straight
final one.
jackets.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oof. Ooh. Ooh.
All right. Emiria and
It,
Vagar both fail again. They both start
number
to.
3 seems to be a really powerful number today.
They both again start to reach for fruit.
Stop
And
it, you two.
my
Um,
most
You can't smell it.
intimidating
You don't
Senior
know.
Chief voice, I'm like, hey, thought I told you to knock it off.
make an intimidation check again.
And if you don't knock it off, I'll have Legion over there knock you unconscious.
This
This
is
seems like
an encounter I decided to I just came up with today and I was super proud of it.
11.
Oof.
Yeah.
Nope. Both of you grab fruit. Emiria grabs a fruit first, and you take a bite out of it before you realize what you're doing, and it tastes absolutely disgusting. And immediately the fruit loses appeal to both of you.
Ugh.
Yeah, that serves you right for eating strange fruits on an alien world.
I
And then you get out of the
What's the
grove.
matter with these two?
I was not interested in poisoning myself this day. I don't know where they've been. I don't know what they do, and I'm very confident they will not agree with my system.
I just drop Emiria unceremoniously and then look at Vagar. You gonna cooperate now, boy?
Fuck you.
I think that's a no.
Without too much difficulty after you get out of the grove, you find the road again.
This is a that was an interesting little detour. Now we know that this planet has fruit that smell super sweet, but apparently taste like rotten flesh.
So you manage to you manage to get back to the road, and that is where we are going to end the session off for this week.
Fair enough.
So, we may or may not be back next week. Thank you for anyone who watched. You can find the archives over on the archive channel, and bye.